Do you have tons of content on your phone but don't have the time to do anything with it? Edit it, make it pretty for posting based on your original intent? We have a solution.
I get a lot of content I shoot just doing the stuff that I do on my phone, and that's just the hardest to deal with. It's just a cluster of everything. But your team, and then of course, and having Andy and James working on some of our old stuff, we just submitted content from October that is getting, really, really good traction on shorts right now. Repurposing content, making shorts out of stuff we had long form of, and it's really, really doing well on several platforms. Thank you.
We hear this a lot. Content isn't the problem, but doing something with it is. Rhett hired us to solve this problem for him, and it's working out great for him. Schedule an exploratory call with us today, and let's fix this problem and set you on a path for increased engagement.
There's no way to keep up with it unless you hire someone who's staying on top of this that informs you. I remember when a reel no longer connected with Facebook. I had to tell my admin to post on Instagram and on Facebook because the two don't connect anymore. It's just nice to have somebody providing that information because it does change so quickly. It's saving me from really hiring someone who is well schooled in social media that I can't afford to staff at this point.
The part that I love the most is I'm learning things that a lot of people in my market have no idea what's going on. I eat, sleep, and breathe social media, so you guys know exactly what's happening, like as it's happening, instead of finding out. I'm seeing agents and loan officers that are doing things just now that we talked about in one of our first sessions. So it allows me to kind of leverage that, basically just kind of be ahead of the game. The crazy part is that a lot of people, I think I was posting on social media consistently, I don't know, maybe 6 months before I actually started getting recognized. Like, hey, that's the guy that does all the videos, or that's the loan officer that does all those videos. Those are cool. The minute that you stop posting, people actually notice, and they're just like, hey, what's going on? When's another video coming out? And I mean, everything that I do on my stuff is a direct correlation of what you guys teach in the calls on a regular basis. So a lot of cool tools as well. It's not just, do this, do that. It's like you guys actually give specific apps that are supposed to be used. Hey, these are the ones that work for us. And so if they're working for you guys, they have to be good apps. Like I said, it was like 6 months before I actually started even seeing anyone. Like, I didn't know if anyone was really paying attention or taking notice of it, but around the 6 month mark, it took a while. For a while there, it was kind of like, all right, I'll just do it a little bit here, a little bit there. And then when I really started ratcheting down was probably 3 months in, and then 3 months of just grinding is when I started to see those results. And then around between 6 to 9 months is where I really started to see people reaching out on social media, DMing me. I had agents asking, hey, when are we going to be able to do a video together? Or, hey, let's work together because, I really want to get into social media. So, yeah, it takes a while, but about 3 months in, 3 months of just consistent grinding before I actually started seeing anything. And yeah, it gets hard, but then you kind of just get in the groove of it. And me, unfortunately, I crashed that cart and I hadn't been able to do a whole lot. I kind of have been lagging on videos, but we've actually been scripting a lot of stuff lately and getting it all set up. So those videos will take back up. But now that I'm used to the posting schedule, it's going to be second nature. It's not really that hard once you get used to it. You've already realized that, hey, I can do this. It's not that bad.
I subscribed to the Drunk on Social working group for a few months because I'm a recovering CPA turned realtor and had no formal marketing training and was super scared of social media. Well, Tristan, Jeff, Ian, and the crew gave me the confidence to get on video and to start becoming consistent. I love their free monthly content ideas calendar because it helps me be consistent. And they really are at the cutting edge of how to be yourself on video and to have people know you, like you, and trust you. So I recommend, if you're a newbie to social, or even if you want to take your social media and marketing to the next level, check out the Drunk on Social team. They're phenomenal.
One of the biggest objections we get all the time is, I'm too old for this. Why should I care? This is a young person's game. Val's going to tell you otherwise, even though she looks 29.
I just turned 30, so I'm not 29 anymore. Thank you. Yeah, so that's a challenge. And I think about that often. I'm not ready to quit working and I'm not ready to give up on my career. And not only that, I love the adventure and the fun of learning new things. So I don't even think about that as being a challenge more. I think about my challenge is myself, is my mind, is that my frustration that I don't know all of these tricks. This morning I was up at 4:00 because I wanted to make something happen, and I worried about it all night, and I thought I'm just going to get up and look at our old programs and look at some YouTube things until I figure it out, and I learned part of it. So I think that thing that's hard for most of us is we know that we should do this, but it's really learning the little tricks, right? Being in a small group where you can learn how do you do this. And I know that some of us in this group have learned a lot from being able to post and having the access to Tristan and Jeff to be able to go in and post our questions. And then the other people in the group also participate. And in most groups, you sit and you listen, and there's a couple hundred people on a Zoom call. But this group's very different because you've got actual access. It's the ins and outs. It's the little tricks. Okay, I'm stuck on downloading this thing, and we get help in the group. So that's really, really important. But let me just say that, a lot of people think that I know a lot, but I don't. I didn't even know what Instagram was until January of this year. I joined some people in Clubhouse and we started talking about Instagram. I had done nothing with it. And Jeff and I met for breakfast at Santa Monica or something a couple years ago.
That's right.
And Jeff said, you should be doing TikTok. I said, I'm never going to do it. Then we had a TikTok challenge in this group. And because of the challenge, then I started doing it. If I can do this, you guys, nobody has any excuses. I'm not tall, thin, blonde, rich, skinny, certainly not that. And I'm not 19. But I will say that one thing I have learned is that I do learn from younger people. And so I take advantage of that. We're at a family birthday dinner, and I said to my granddaughters who are 9-11, oh, look, I'm going to give you access to this new program I have, and I'm going to set you up an account. It's called Canva. And my youngest granddaughter is 9, grabbed my phone, says, oh, I know what that is. And in about 5 minutes, she created a birthday video. So the fun is also to be around all of these things and to keep learning and doing new things, which are kind of exciting, kind of fun. And I heard somebody say that they knew an agent on the East Coast, and I don't remember her name, I'm sorry, that doesn't use social media at all. And that may be great, and she has a very successful business. But if you don't use social media, in my opinion, and Jeff, to what you just said, you better have another part of your business that's so strong and that you're so confident with that you're going to continue to be successful with that part of your business. And some people may have that. Some people maybe have referrals or some niche that they don't need social media. But if you don't have social media, you better have something else. And it's interesting because I saw somebody that just left a conference in Dallas they were at for a couple of days. And the one thing they said was, the real estate business is changing. And we keep saying that, but it keeps changing. And so for me, as well as everybody else in this group, we either have to keep up or, again, have something else that makes us not need it. And I don't happen to have anything else that makes me not need it.
Tons of value here. I really appreciate you guys. I know everybody's kind of on mute and listening in, but we'll just thank you for all the stuff you've shared and some really good stuff. And so seeing where you guys are at now, it's cool I know I have work to do and there's stuff to put in place, but thanks for all the cool insights and websites and little insights that you guys are sharing with all of us. It just gives us more fuel to the fire.
Thanks for saying that. I appreciate that. I can't wait to see where you're at just 6 months from now, because I filmed
video stuff this morning. So I've got some stuff in the works. And so, yeah, it's all moving forward. We got some fun stuff happening.
Do you have tons of content on your phone but don't have the time to do anything with it? Edit it, make it pretty for posting based on your original intent? We have a solution.
I get a lot of content I shoot just doing the stuff that I do on my phone, and that's just the hardest to deal with. It's just a cluster of everything. But your team, and then of course, and having Andy and James working on some of our old stuff, we just submitted some content from October that is getting, really, really good traction on shorts right now. Repurposing content, making shorts out of stuff we had long form of, and it's really, really doing well on several platforms. Thank you.
We hear this a lot. Content isn't the problem, but doing something with it is. Rhett hired us to solve this problem for him, and it's working out great for him. Schedule an exploratory call with us today, and let's fix this problem and set you on a path for increased engagement.
There's no way to keep up with it unless you hire someone who's staying on top of this that informs you. I remember when a reel no longer connected with Facebook. I had to tell my admin to post on Instagram and on Facebook because the two don't connect anymore. It's just nice to have somebody providing that information because it does change so quickly. It's saving me from really hiring someone who is well schooled in social media that I can't afford to staff at this point.
The part that I love the most is I'm learning things that a lot of people in my market have no idea what's going on. And eat, sleep, and breathe social media, so you guys know exactly what's happening, like as it's happening, instead of finding out. I'm seeing agents and loan officers that are doing things just now that we talked about in one of our first sessions. So it allows me to kind of leverage that, basically just kind of be ahead of the game. The crazy part is that a lot of people, gosh, I think I was posting.
Almost.
If you know, you know.
I don't think we're ever going to make it on time. That was too. We were here early. We were here early. We just.
And by early, you mean like 30 seconds.
So for everyone joining us right now, thank you. We haven't done this for about a year, so it's been overdue.
Has it been that long?
It has, man. The last one we did, I think, was November of 22, because we had the live event
April, yeah, LA
in April,
yeah.
So about 8 months ago or so, which was amazing.
And here's going to be the first question of the day from the audience. When's the next live event going to happen?
Which was amazing. It was fun. I think I'm still recovering from it, Jeff. That's the problem. Yeah, I can't do too many live events. I'm not like Jeff. All right, everyone, let us know what city and state you're from or country. Type it in. We want to see all those comments come in. Gustavo wants it in Mexico. What's up, Gus? Boston, Chicago. Well, that's beautiful. Jeff, where are you coming in from?
I am in St. Louis today.
Nice. I'm in close to Malibu, California.
Man,
so,
Mexico. I love it, man. Philadelphia. There's a Philippines. All right.
Nice.
Hi, Christina. Great to see you, Christina, or kind of see you. Great for you to see me, I guess. Maybe is that how you say it? I don't know.
Yeah, dude. I have Ronald Moss in Westlake Village. That's like down the street from me. I like that. All right. For those of you jumping in and it's your first time or it's your second time, is about 3 hours long or 3 hours short, depending on who you are. The whole idea behind this is to take you through a journey so that by the end of this, you're fully versed as to what you should be doing in 2024 with social media in order to grow it, attract the audience you want, and understand what's happening so you can treat social like a business. And we're going to give you a handbook or a PDF handbook. You can download it, follow along there. It's pretty intricate, so you can go in and check off everything as we're talking through it. You'll get that for free. And then here and there, we'll also throw in the things that Jeff and I do to take your business to the next level. Of course, that's group coaching. And then this is our little logo for Drunk on Social. I'm not sure why Jeff isn't wearing his Drunk on Social.
We've got 3 hours. I will change outfits.
Holy crap, dude. Come on. This is a little raccoon, our logo. And with that, Jeff, I'm going to share my screen just So we can get officially started. I think we've got everybody on that's going to be on, watching in and out. Here we go. You ready for this, Jeff?
Let's roll.
All right. This is what we're going to cover. We're going to go deep into it. So I would suggest, if you want, grab a pen and paper, grab your phone, follow along with us, because a lot of what we're going to tell you is going to require you to actually do things on social. This is not in theory. This is all in practice, in action. In some cases, Jeff's going to pop up his phone. He's going to show you exactly what to do. And I'm going to share my screen with you and show you exactly what to look for and what to do. So content creation being number one, probably the most important one. Number two, how to use each platform, what to look at for each. And number three, what you need to focus on this year so that you stay focused on the important parts of social media. Jeff?
Let's address some of these questions real quick before we get started, because they're going to keep coming.
Go.
Will it be recorded?
It's being recorded as we speak right now. So
and will they get access to it?
Should they get access to it, Jeff? I don't know. We'll record it, but I don't know what we're going to do with it. We'll let you know in a little bit.
Are the slides going to be useful?
Yes, they are. Those slides will be useful. And we'll tell you which ones to snap a shot of. We strategically placed the slides where they are. So I'll say like, hey, take a picture of this one. You're going to need this one. So yeah, definitely do that. Anything else that we're missing before we get started?
I think that's it. Yeah, I think it's mostly where they're from, which they're everywhere. It's great. Anchorage, Alaska's here. Anchorage, Alaska's in the house.
I love it. All right, here we go, Jeff. You're up first.
Oh, damn. Okay. So, it was interesting how you said content creation is most important. I'm shifting. Content creation is really one of the non-negotiables. So I'm just going to go ahead and tease that and tell you that. However, one of the most underutilized, under-discussed, under-strategized, and just not being used is what you should be doing with outreach. And so, Tristan, take us to the first non-negotiable. And, the reason why I say content creation isn't absolutely necessary, and I think if you're here today, you are already mentally committed to content creation. That's going to be important, and it's incredibly important. But if you're not employing some version of outreach and understanding how powerful it is going to make your social strategy that works well in conjunction with the creation, you are leaving one of the most valuable bullets out of the chamber, and you're just not using it. And this is what I suggest, Tristan, is most everybody on here at some point in time has a list. Many of you, it's in a CRM, right? It's your past customers, it's your SOI, it's your friends and family, it's people you come in contact with, your networking groups, all of the things, right? Referral partners, and you should have this A to Z list. But what many of you have not spent a lot of time doing is taking that A to Z list, spending a day, like this is set up. You know how much time it takes to set up a CRM. It takes days, weeks, months sometimes. I want you to take that list of all of those people and get onto your socials and find out where they are. For most of you, it's going to be primarily Facebook, but some of those people are going to be active on Instagram, some may be active on TikTok, some LinkedIn, etc., right? Go find them, connect with them in as many places as you can. That's just you putting them inside of the spider web that you want them inside. You put them in a CRM, but now you're touching them where they don't necessarily want to be met. Meet them where they're already spending time. Obviously connect with them. And then you've heard Tristan preach this for like 5 or 6 years now. The LCM strategy. Spend 10 or 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And if you're an overachiever, do it 7 days a week. Go through that list 5 days a week. Start A through D, and then the next day go E through whatever, and so on. When you get to Z, rinse, repeat, right? All I want you to do is spend a little bit of time, and this will not take a lot of time because most of your consumers are not posting regularly on social. And so what you're going to do, though, is you want to make sure you never miss these people's posts, and you're always commenting on their content. You're always showing them love. You're showing up authentically, because you're going to be doing a couple of things here. One, you're going to be creating top of mind awareness. This is so easy. You're hitting them with dopamine, the feel good hormone, right? All the things that you're not doing when you call them, text them, email them, door knock them. That's invasive. That's annoying them. But what you do when you do it on socials, you're hitting them with dopamine. So top of mind awareness. Number two, you're stoking the algorithm. You're training the algorithm that says, if I go comment on Tristan's post, odds are very high that at the very least, Tristan's going to like my comment. Many cases, he's going to comment back, which allows me the opportunity to comment back. And guess what the algorithm's going to see? A commonality. They must like each other. So guess what happens when Jeff posts next? The odds of my post showing up on Tristan's feed increase exponentially. And that is the name of the game. This is not time consuming, but so many of you are missing this opportunity. And I want you to commit to it, not for a month, not for 2 months. I want you to commit to it in perpetuity as long as you are in this business. Okay, at least do it for a year. I promise you, you're going to have more valuable conversations than you've probably ever had. And oh, by the way, this works really well in conjunction with traditional prospecting. So now when you've been doing this for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and you show up to the networking event, you knock on someone's door, you call them, you text them, you're going to be received much warmer. And in many cases, you're going to be received. Hey, Tristan, great to hear from you. They're not even going to realize why they like you so much, because you are hitting them with that dopamine. So that's number one. Number two is content creation. So Tristan, move to the next slide, please.
All right.
The second piece of the non-negotiable is the content creation. And for some of you, you're advanced. Like, for example, Kevin Dewey's here. A dude knows how to create content. This doesn't take him long. He probably mostly just struggles with creativity and quantity. And for some of you, you're going to be starting from square one. You're going to need to acquire some basic editing skills. You need to learn how to use green screen on Instagram. You need to learn how to do a remix video. You got to learn how to use the tools to make you a better content creator so your content stands out from the rest of the industry, because it's not hard to do. So for some of you, this will be 5, 10, 30 minutes. When you're getting started, it's going to be painful. It's going to suck. It's going to be hard. It's going to take you 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours to create a 60-second video because you're not good at it yet. But just like when you learn to walk and ride a bike and swim and do all things you've learned to do throughout your life, it took you time, days, weeks, months to get good at it. So for those of you that want to do it well and want to do it more efficiently, do this. Build this in. I would allot 30 minutes a day. So I was 10 to 20 minutes on outreach. I'm 30 minutes on content creation. Last slide, Tristan, is...
Oops, my bad. My bad. There we go.
Notifications. Do not forget to spend your time in notifications. So when people ask me, Tristan, what do you do on social? How do you build this in your time? You know, people, oh, Mr. Social Media, how did you not see my post? Because, and I know why you're laughing, because let me tell you how I spend time on social. I almost never consume. So for those of you that have never seen me comment on your post, you probably just haven't tagged me, or you just haven't hacked my algorithm, because I don't consume much. If you're not showing up at the very top, I don't doom scroll. I don't have time for that. I spend my time with outreach. I spend my time creating, and I spend my time in my notifications. So when I open up Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the first place I go is get the hell off of the feed, because you know why? A French bulldog's going to grab my attention and I'm going to lose an hour. Right? And I'm going to start scrolling. So what I do is I go straight to my notifications, because now I've been doing outreach. So people are going to be commenting back to me, and I'm going to be content creating, which means people are going to be commenting on my posts. And I'm going to make sure that I am intentionally engaging with everyone that I'm now intentionally reaching out to. These, ladies and gentlemen, to start this webinar, are your 3 non-negotiables before we get deep on each platform.
I agree, man. I agree. And then I'm going to re-show this one. Is this the one you were talking about, slide 2? You want to take a picture of that? Or I wasn't sure if you wanted to take a picture of the other one, which was just as good, before we get going here. That was the one. Perfect, Joe. I got you. And now
LCM, yeah, you already commented on LCM. I reference LCM, like, comment, message. It's basically just outreach, right? And I see you're responding.
No, yeah. A lot of people don't know what it is, so we're gonna definitely go over that. No worries. But before we go further, we want you to build communities, not just an audience. Here's what that means. A lot of you are just trying to gather people and then spam them, right? This is what I see all the time. Why can't I grow my audience? How can I grow more people following me? And it's because you're not doing what Jeff just went through in the process. Your goal is to create community, to create a sense of feeling that when you show up, you actually care. This is why going to the notifications, engaging with people through like, comment, message. This is why that is so important. A lot of people are like, social media just doesn't work for me. And the key has been this right here. Build communities, not just audiences. That's the key. And with that, I want to show you this because this one you're going to want to take a picture of. We're going to go into something. Gus mentioned one of the biggest challenges he has is creating content. And that's not uncommon. It's probably the biggest challenge. Jeff, when you talk to people, the very first challenge that they say is, well, I don't have time to create, or I don't have time to jump into social media and create content. In fact, I don't even know what to post. That's probably what we hear the most, right?
Yeah.
And so the key is, and then this is where we're going to show you. So you're going to have to pay attention. We may go fast on this one, but the key is you've got ideas and then you have your audience that you want to attract. Jeff, for you, which we're going to get into for TikTok, but for you, the idea is you want to attract people that love the Ozarks. So you've got your ideas, which is, you know what? I'm going to shoot a few videos about boats in the area. Those are your idea. Your audience is like, well, everyone that lives around the Ozarks. What ends up happening when you put both together is the actual content that comes up. If you're doing this consistently, you're going to find your niche. And then that becomes the key. The challenge is a lot of you don't even have ideas and don't even know who your audience is. So this is where I'm going to show you the magic of being able to do this quickly. And that's one site that, Jeff, I know that you know this site, and it's been a while since we visited together. So I'm going to do it live with you so we can have some fun. And it's Answer the Public. I know that a lot of you know this site. Jeff, you're familiar with Answer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've used this. I've used it before.
Perfect. So let me log in, and I'm going to now dismiss that. I'm going to log in. I'm going to share my screen with you. First, let me get in and show you exactly the power of this. Gus, this one's for you, man, because you were saying, well, look, I need to get the content right. And a lot of us have ideas. So Answer the Public, what they do is, and we don't belong to Answer the Public. We don't own them. We don't get an affiliate. We don't do anything with them. It's just an easier way of putting it together. If you look right here, Answer the Public connects to Google, YouTube, and Bing. When you put in a topic right here, it gives you what is being searched on any of these, depending on what you have clicked. So for instance, Jeff, let's play a game. You're going to give me a topic or an area that you want to explore or go deeper in. What would that be? What give me an area.
Let's choose something fun or different or interesting. How about Park City, Utah?
Okay, Park City, Utah. I'm going to go moving or living. How's living? Living in Park City, Utah. All right. Say I'm a real estate agent here. I know we've got a lot of people that aren't real estate agents, but let's say I'm a real estate agent and I want to create content. And I'm like, let's go specifically to Google, see what's happening. I'm going to click search, and within a few seconds, you're going to start seeing this populate right over here. And what's going to happen is it's giving me the questions that people are asking on Google. It's got 124 questions, all have to do with living in Park City. If you look carefully, the ones that are more orange or more darker orange are being searched the most, lighter orange, the least. So here they are, and we can expand on them. We can have a different look on them. But the way that it is these are living in Park City. This is the stuff that's being searched, the darker all the way to the lighter. And the one that I love the most is how, because this is what people are typing into Google and what I can use for content. So if I'm like living in Park City, Utah, how is it living in Park City? Living in Park City, Utah, pros and cons. That's a video right there. Living in Park City, Utah, Reddit. Go into Reddit, find out more. Celebrities living in Park City, Utah. People want to know. Senior living in Park City, Utah. Assisted living. These are all topics, Jeff, that I could just shoot a quick video on if I live here. How expensive is it to live in Park City, Utah? And you want to take it further. Well, here's the cool part. If I go here, I'm going to zoom out. I can either save this as an image, right, which is great, or I can go to data. And if I go to how, right here, I can go through and I'm like, living in Park City, Utah, I'm going to delete that one. Let's see. How much does it cost to live in? I love that one. Is Park City, Utah a good place to live in? Love that one. Living in, I'm going to remove the Reddit one. And then once I remove those, I'm like, I'm pretty happy with these. I'm going to make a quick little image. And now I have a quick snapshot of the content that I'm going to create quickly for the area. And if I want to go deeper, this is where you start looking at tools as allowing you to leverage and come up with ideas even faster. Let's take living in Park City, Utah, pros and cons. I'm going to do two things for you here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to take it over to our best friend, Google. Type that in. And I'm going to scroll down. I've got Merlin running around here. It's an app connected to ChatGPT. I'm going to go to People Also Ask right on Google. This is free, everyone. Now I've got more content. And is Park City, Utah a good place to live? That's what's being typed in right now. Now I have another topic. Is it expensive to live in Park City? Why do people like Park City, Utah? That is a really good title, Jeff. It's like the Ozarks. Why do people like the Ozarks? What's unique about Park City? Then you know what? Let's say I really like this one. I'm gonna copy paste that one, and I'm gonna go to my second best friend, ChatGPT, and I'm going to expand on it. Give me 20. Let me 10.
That was somebody's question, Tristan, was why not just use ChatGPT? And I mean, you could, but Answer the Public is more, Answer the Public is specifically connected to what people are searching on Google, which is where, so you really should use them in conjunction with each other. And by the way, Answer the Public's not free, but you can use it for free. You can only use it like what, once a day or once a week or something like that? Or
a couple of searches a day, I think. So type in the search, and the cool thing is it's connected to the top searches in these three. So if you chose Google, right now what you see below is Google. If I change it to YouTube, and I want to go deeper on YouTube, that's what's being searched on YouTube. ChatGPT in general won't do that for you. It's not as specific, but give me 10 video ideas around the topic. And then now
Michelle just said 3 searched per day for free. There you go. There you go. And but the truth is when you're using this like we're using it right now, you've got content for like a month. You really don't need to use it that often. Really then you take these subtopics, then you put them into ChatGPT and have ChatGPT expand on it.
Yeah.
But,
What I
I
find,
mean,
what I find, Jeff, is that if I go to Answer the Public, I find that they break it down for me in a way that I could just riff off of these. A lot of people don't even know how to get here,
right.
right? Which is, I've got the topic now. A lot of people don't even know what to type. So the fact that I took that and expanded on it on ChatGPT, now I've got 10. But if I want to go further and I say bard.google.com, this is how important content creation is, right? I did this earlier and I typed in, give me 31 days of worth of content ideas for popular questions about in Google. I meant in Google about living in Los Angeles. Then I can use to create short videos on YouTube. And then it just gave me all of these ideas. And this is free, right? And of course, Bard is Google. So it simplifies it for us. And then you can take each one of these and go back to ChatGPT, type them in here and expand on them and say, okay, well, you know what? Give me a 60-second video around the topic. And then now I've got a 60-second, and if you mess up on the terms, grammar, it doesn't matter, it'll still do it for you. And then I was going to type out a 60-second outline for a video. And there it goes, opening shot, aerial view of Park City with text overlay. Why do people love Park City, Utah? And then historical charm, 15 to 25 seconds, outdoor adventures, cultural hub. You know what you should do, Jeff? You should do this for Ozarks. Be like, hey, type in 60-second video, go. You get some other ideas.
Yeah, I think I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here. And the thing is that I don't struggle for content ideas. So I don't honestly utilize this as often as I probably should. I'm usually utilizing this when I'm trying to help other people with content ideas, because the way I look at what as being the aggregator of a geographic area is, to me, it's easy because I look at it as lifestyle. What am I doing? And therefore just document it and share it, because it's relatable that way. And then what I do every once in a while, like once a week, I go check the local news aggregators for events and I just see what's going on. And if I feel like it's worth sharing, like this weekend, it's Eagle Days. Well, I created a green screen video and shared it. And people then look at me as the source of what's going on in the community. And I get so many shares. People are always sharing my content because I'm the source. I'm the source locally. And so I think really that's for many of you, that is the tried and true strategy. There's many you could go down the rabbit hole of, but man, like what Tristan's showing you right now, you don't have to be creative. I guess I'm probably on the creative side, Tristan.
Yeah.
You don't have to be creative because you've got all these resources that can help you come up with this content now.
Jeff, I think you and I are so deep into social. Everything that's happening becomes social for us, right? A lot of people have to start somewhere. And so if you're starting along the path of something brand new, this is why I go to Answer the Public first. My goal is to create content that people are searching for online. And when Jeff pops up his TikTok, you can go to the search bar on TikTok, scroll down after you type in the search, and you can see people also ask, or people are also asking. It's the same thing that they do with Google. Then you start using social and Google to create content that people are searching for. And that becomes the key right there. I'm sure you're aware that Bing also has that. Yes, Prayful, totally. I just wanted to give the choice so people can see Answer the Public, ChatGPT with Bing, and then Google.
And I want to say this: we did have one question about what's the cost. I don't even want to look that up because, to be honest with you, I don't think you should pay for Answer the Public. If you're going to pay for anything, pay for ChatGPT. Get the upgraded membership there, because Answer the Public, if you start going into Answer the Public and asking it more than 3 questions a day, you are going to overwhelm yourself to the extent that you're going to do nothing. And this is already overwhelming enough for most of you. And I think what we're really trying to do, not only today, but what this platform, Drunk on Social, was built for, is to help people stay the course. Because not only is it overwhelming and it's hard to come up with creative content, but it's also, it's hard not to get caught down in the rabbit holes and all the many different rabbit holes you can go down. And obviously today we're going to talk about the membership of being a part of our group coaching. And a part of that group coaching is being a part of a group that keeps you on course and helps you conceive ideas, and we all collaborate with each other. And then we're teaching you some of the basic skills, like the things you can do inside of ChatGPT. So, because I've also seen, I know Prayful, thank you, Prayful, by the way, for engaging so much. Ask the question, should I hire somebody to create my content? Some of you know this, many of you probably don't. The platforms are all starting to lean, not starting, they have been leaning more and more authentic content. What that means is not professional. Audiences are starting to turn their backs on the over-edited content, the perfect content, the perfectly edited content, all the filtered content. People, our world is evolving into wanting real. And so, although, as Prayful said, I just don't feel like the output wouldn't be as great, you're kind of wrong. Maybe it's not but in what context, Prayful? And so for anybody thinking about it, is what is good in your mind is what you've been trained to watch, which are all these professional creators with crews and teams of media teams. And you can go find this and Google it and read it anywhere. The days of those big influencers having as big of an impact is slowing rapidly. And it's the smaller creators now that are more authentic and more real that are actually having more of an impact. And the best advice I can give you is, just like it's going to be painful creating this content, learning how to edit, learning how to apply some of these skills, practicing in front of the camera is the only way to get better at it. That's it. And I think for some of you, I'll tell you what I did, Tristan. When I was first getting into video, what I did was just study and watched the people that I wanted to be like. I'm watching Tristan and I'm like, man, I love his demeanor. I love how he carries himself. I love how he articulates. And then I was watching like the Gary V's and I'm like, I kind of like the rawness of Gary V, and I like his excitement, and I like that he drops an F-bomb. And, I'm watching, and I took like 10 people that I'm just watching and studying, and then I just kind of meshed it into my own brand. And I think that's what so many of us, you're spending your time, your consumption is cat videos and cooking videos and car videos and that kind of, your consumption needs to be a hell of a lot more intentional. So even digressing, Tristan, to the very beginning, like before you can really create a 2024 plan, you got to get better at looking at yourself as a creator and not a consumer. And your consumption is intentional consumption, which is learning, finding people to connect with, all of those things. And that's how you get good at this and get confident. And I don't know what you think this percentage is, Tristan, but I would bet less than 5% of any industry will ever apply the right amount of time and effort and discipline and consistency into this to get really good, which is why there's so much opportunity.
Yeah, that's true. The consistency in so many things, though, it's not just creating the content, but studying other people that are successful and then engaging, right? Engaging is so key, and making sure that you're continually improving a little bit over a long period of time, man. And I think the authenticity part is so key, which we'll show you, because we wanted to get the content creation out of the way to show you that it's not impossible. It's so easy. You've got Google Bard, ChatGPT, Answer the Public, Google itself, right? There's so much. So with that, we want to go into the first part of this, and that's Facebook.
Hey, before we do that, can I say one more thing?
Yeah,
real quick. Let me also remind all of you, and as I mentioned, and this kind of goes back to what Prayful said about what your visual is of what it should look like, which has been created by a bunch of professionals, right? But the other thing that has been completely jaded on how we view our social media success is we view our success based upon the analytics. We base our success upon going viral. We base our success upon views and likes. And that's just not the way you should look at it. That is purely vanity. It's a bonus when it happens. You can't plan for it. You can't predict it. It will happen accidentally, and it probably will do nothing for your business. What you need to focus on is making the right connections, which is why I go all the way back to the beginning. That's why that outreach is so important. It doesn't matter, Liliana, for example, it doesn't matter if you have tens of thousands of followers. What matters is you've got 200 of the right people. That's what matters, because those are the people that you want to stay top of mind with. Because I'm in St. Louis. I could care less if I have a bunch of followers. Actually, I have a Lake of the Ozarks channel. I could care less about all of the people that follow me for boating content. I want Lake of the Ozarks people, period. End of story. That's all that will serve my business. Everybody else serves my ego. My ego does not write checks. And that's where I think there's another shift of the mindset.
Not yet, buddy. Not yet.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it ever will, actually. It'll just piss off my wife and get me in trouble.
Let's go. Is Facebook still useful for business in 2024? I think, and I know it is. We're seeing Facebook continue to grab hold of spot number 3 while other social outlets are dropping lower and lower. It's still the 3rd most visited website in the world, and the key to success here comes to actually scrolling less and engaging more. Going back to what Jeff said again, a lot of us mistake social media for posting and throwing stuff out there and just hoping that you can grow a channel or grow your presence, that people begin to love you a lot more. But you're forgetting that it's a community. Your job is to engage with people. Slow down when you're going through. Stop and listen. Stop and engage. And a lot of people forget that part because, like, you know what? Oh, let's go through. Let's just consume. Like. And then you post something. Why are people loving my crap? Jeff, why do I only get 2 views on my videos? We hear this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes down to you're not putting enough effort to love on people. You're not putting enough effort to actually engage and see what's happening in people's lives. And so the answer is yes. But there's a lot of bashing going on Facebook. It's like, oh, Facebook's terrible. Zuck's building an underground mansion. We should hate him more. I'm like, who cares about Zuck? Why don't you take the time to use Facebook to actually run your business? That's the key. And for us, these are some things that we want you to focus on. And we have a different page that we want you to take a snapshot of. And that's this one. Jeff, when you look at this and you look at the 6 major trends for Facebook, which one for you stands out of short video, groups, ads, live video? Because I know you just got the glasses.
Yep.
Static posts, meaning just a picture or just words, or AI. Which one of these 6 are you focused on or do you love?
Groups. Period.
Groups.
Easy one. Yeah.
All right, I like this. And for you in the audience, first take a picture of this because these are the 6 things on Facebook that you need to focus on. Jeff just put on his shades. No, he wasn't out all night drinking. They're the Facebook shades, and he can go live on them right now. I want you now to answer which one of these 6 are you going to be focused on for this year on Facebook. Go ahead and answer it now, and then I'll give you my answer. My answer is going to be, Jeff, you chose groups.
Yep.
My answer is going to be different than yours, even though I love groups, obviously, Lab Coat Agents, Drunk on Social. I'm going to go with short video. And because I'm watching how much is blowing up. Let me see what everybody else is saying. Short video. We've got groups, short video. Facebook Live, nice. 1 minute video Facebook have done, yes. Groups, communities, groups. All right, so we're seeing the majority of people are going to be on short video and groups.
Let me just warn you ahead of time. You're gonna get confused later, because when we start talking about TikToks are starting to emphasize long form. So it's really crazy how the platform that created this short video craze is now shifting to long. It's really amazing. But I agree. If for almost all of us, short video is the most important thing that you can do for your brand and your business.
I like that, man. I like that. All right. So let's start with the very top. If we're looking at focusing on short video, it's no different than what you're shooting on Instagram or TikTok. Here, the key is, and you know what, Jeff, you're going to pop open TikTok. I think it's the third one. Jeff's going to go through and create or show you how he's creating videos. Thanks for the change of hats, Jeff. Almost inconspicuous, but I saw it.
I tried to.
I like it. He's got the little raccoon now. Short videos are the key, but the key is a lot of people are shooting short videos that just have no attraction to it. It's like, where's the hook? What's wanting me to watch your video? And so we go in the PDF that we have, in the workbook, we have hooks that you can go through so you can practice and get better at shooting those hooks. So take a look at that once we send that over. For groups, I think it's by far the biggest edge that Facebook has over every other social outlet. That's where people go together to share either a common interest, whether it's they love something like pickleball, or to hate on something like leaving California. We've seen those groups as well. And I'm in California. There's groups for everything. And the idea is that people want to get together to share the dislike or the love of something. And I think that's a big opportunity still. Ads, this is where Facebook is still growing. In fact, we're going deeper with ads this year to be able to create our newsletter and grow it through targeting audiences and bringing them back through lead magnets and then retargeting them. So this to us is allowing us to grow our database and grow our presence. So that's important to us. Live video, especially because they connected to Ray-Ban. Jeff, you just got the glasses. What's the experience like with those and the live video?
Take the screen back. Yeah. So first of all, you can't even tell. Like, I mean, I know I'm on camera here, but if you see me in public, you can't tell these are glasses until I press play. And then there's a little light blinking. And even then it's very inconspicuous. But I will tell you, the experience is, the video is incredible. The one, I'm learning still, because you realize you make head movements more than you realize. And so then when you're watching a video, it's bouncing. But to this, I think to me, live video, for example, is as less important as it's ever been, except when you're going to start using, this is where it's going to get relevant. I agree with you, because now I'm going to be able to jump on a Sea-Doo and go live from my glasses. I'm going to be able to be on a go-kart and go live on a dirt bike and all the things you couldn't video before, because you got to have two hands on the wheel or the throttle or whatever it is. This is going to be a game changer and make content creation so much fun. I think, you're probably going to see a day, Tristan, where, us in real estate use them for walkthroughs and stuff and going live. But I think the answer is everybody was right on cue with sounded to me like short videos and groups were the predominant answers.
Yeah, I don't think we should put away lives. I think lives are going to be as important because it creates original content in Facebook. And the key is originating the content in Facebook, kind of like what TikTok has been able to do over the last few years, is that content starts in TikTok and then goes outward to everything else. So I think that becomes important. It's something that we haven't been really focusing on. And that's why I think the glasses are important. It's an easy thing to overlook, but I think it also, if you're paying attention, also shows you Facebook's hand, and that they want to make live more relevant, which means they'll reward you if you're going live through the actual outlet directly, not indirectly. So I love that. Next is static posts are not dead. I want to show you something focused on pages specifically, and that's business pages. We've been testing out different things on Facebook, and one of those is are Facebook business pages dead in their reach? And they're definitely not. In fact, they're rewarding people that are doing it well. I posted this just a couple of weeks ago, and that's on my business page, so not my personal page. And you can see I'm going to focus in here to show you what it is. I like to read. Jeff's been telling me for years, dude, you should do a lot more on posts about reading. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I read this little book, Emotional Focus, put a little summary, and it got 3,200 likes, 2,400 shares. It's a business page. I only had 2,000 followers, but now I have 4,000 followers as of last week. And you can take a look at the insights. It had 704,000 impressions, and the reach at 704,000 people. So it's not dead. In fact, they're rewarding content that is shareable. And so I want you to pay attention more on your business page, but just make sure that what you're posting is actually things that people can love and share and engage with. That was a big eye opener for us, and that's recent. That's as of 2 weeks ago. So always be testing. And so the next thing is AI. AI is getting pretty serious. We'll show you when we're on Instagram, but Facebook or Meta has something called Llama that they've designed and they're really proud of. So you're going to see the integration of AI all over Facebook. In fact, it's already on Messenger. And I didn't put Messenger on here because we wanted to focus more on groups, even though we do think Messenger is important. Any questions before we go to the next one? Jeff, anything?
No, other than that, let me forget. I will share. Somebody asked to see actual videos from these glasses. I'll just show you some of the videos I've shot. Yeah, it's easy.
We'll do that right after this. Here are some best practices. Engaging with your community through comments and messages. I think people overlook the psychological effect of engagement, because that's what allows me to connect with people that I'm not meeting in person. It gives me that extra feeling like they actually care, right? This is why LCM is so important to your business, like comment message. And then when you utilize groups for deeper community building, it allows, again, that connection that we all need. Look, as a human race, the one thing we long for, let me stop sharing so you can share, Jeff, but the one thing we long for is a connection. And the ability to do that virtually through communities, through a common like or dislike of something, is really integral to community building. And a lot of you don't understand that that's the piece of humanity that we need to be taking advantage of when it comes to groups and communities. We need to use this as a business. This is why I love, Jeff, I'm always going to go back to your idea of the Ozarks. You're building something there that is bringing a community together from the love of being there, living there, having fun there, memories. It's so key to being human. And that's the key piece to this. Jeff, can you show us on Facebook what it looks like when it pops up live on your screen?
I'm showing, where am I going?
Show us actual footage of your glasses.
Oh, the glasses. Yeah, sure. Of course.
Yeah.
All right. So you get an app that attaches to your, that obviously that attaches your glasses. So it's called MetaView here. You'll see it in the bottom right. So when you open that up, I was already looking at it. So you can kind of see and this connects directly to my camera roll. So, you can kind of see what's in here. I got them on Christmas Day. Here's an example. I was actually looking at it on my phone while I was just kind of messing around.
That's funny.
But here's an example. Like we were like four-wheeling off-roading last couple weekends ago, and so I used it for that. And so this is just literally me driving the Jeep. No, not that one. Let me give you this one. So if I play it for you. So you can see how it's maybe slightly more bouncy, but also I'm in a Jeep off-road, so it's bouncy. But you can see the camera, it's incredibly awesome. It's a really good camera. Here's what I just did a few minutes ago, Tristan, and when I was messing around. Play.
Oh, nice.
And then there's a little light blinking. And even then, it's very inconspicuous. But I will tell you, the experience is... Oops.
That's all right, dude. I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Because what I'm seeing is the emphasis by Facebook to take this tech.
The video is incredible.
Right,
the one... Keep going.
To focus so much on live video. It means it's important to them enough to create something that you can buy. And to me, that means that if they're doing it with this, that means they're going to be putting an emphasis for everyone else to create more live video. And this is why it becomes one of the 6 trends you need to watch in 2024.
Yeah. And you notice it too, Tristan, and I haven't really paid attention to this, but look at all the places that this can connect to. And I could just go post direct from MetaView. Yes. And it is called MetaView. That's the app, which you have to get when you get the cam or when you get the glasses. And then it can automatically, I don't know if it automatically downloads. Yeah, see? And then automatically is in my camera roll. So boom. I mean, there's the 2 right there at the top or at the bottom here. Those are the two videos from my glasses. So it's so easy to use, dude. In fact, why didn't we think of this? I should have got myself some sort of a kickback from Meta, and then we shared a link because they're going to probably sell about 50 pairs today. Damn it.
Look, we'll go a little deeper because there's a lot of questions about communities and Facebook and what we should be focused on. We coach on this. It's a group setting, and we meet with you 3 times a month in a group setting. So if you're interested in going deeper, building communities, have questions about that, they'll put up the link there so you can sign up. It's discounted, of course. And let me see, it comes with...
So this comes with a charger, so you can see the little thing there. It's right inside the little nose. So then when you put it on here, then that lights up and, it tells you it's charging and when it's charged. You can get prescription. You can get prescription in these so somebody to answer it. And yes, it's recording voice as well. It's also got speakers. So you can listen to music on your glasses and have a phone conversation. This is Bluetooth. And the speakers are in here. You can control the volume just by sliding this. You can answer phone calls from your glasses, the whole bit. It's everything. I love that. An incredible tool. Yeah.
Dude, I love that.
Salah's got them too.
You already got him convinced? I'm not talking to Salah.
I think he got him. He got him before I did, I think.
Daniel, where's my notebook?
They're not heavy. No. I would say compared to a plastic pair of Ray-Bans, slightly heavier, but for all the technology that goes on inside of this, shockingly light.
Dude, I love that, man. All right, last thing on Facebook, and then we'll move on to Instagram. Consistently post varied content. What you want to do on Facebook is continue to test out video, whether it's uploaded, live, short, long, doesn't matter. Images, they perform really well. And written posts. My written posts do extremely well on Facebook. And that's one thing I noticed that with Facebook, and we'll show you in other places, but with Facebook specifically, that's one thing you shouldn't overlook. If you're telling yourself, hey, I'm terrible at video, or I don't know what to record today. Well, just post up something that inspires others or that's shareable. That becomes the key. There you go. There's the link. All right, let's go to Instagram. Is Instagram worth it in 2024? Well, what's your answer, everybody? What's your answer? Are you going to be focused on Instagram, or are you going to be focused on Facebook more? Whose answer is yes? I'm in on Instagram. It is going to be worth it for me. I know, Jeff. What would you say? It's your favorite platform?
Yeah. It's my go-to. Define favorite.
Like the one that The one that you go to the most, the one that
Instagram.
See you're posting, engaging.
When I roll over in the morning and pick up my phone, assuming that it's, let's put it this way. Whenever I pick up my phone to go to social for the first time in the day, the first place I go is Instagram. Yeah.
Why is
that? Two reasons. And this is part of the coaching. I recommend, because I want social to be, an extension of your business, not your entire business plan. Now, I do hope some of you get to our level where social is like almost everything for your business. But let's be realistic here. This is going to be an extension of your business. So I want you to be as efficient as possible. And so there's two reasons why I recommend Instagram as your foundational platform. Not because you're going to have the most followers. In fact, you're going to struggle to gain a following. Instagram's hard. But Instagram is more advanced. It's the closest thing to TikTok, and TikTok is the most advanced in terms of the technology. And so if you actually want to be a good creator and put out content that's, evolved and more innovative and not boring, and you can use tools and all the effects, Instagram's where you want to create. So you create an Instagram, then you connect your Instagram to your Facebook. You automatically have every post flow over. Some of them won't. So then fine, go post them, natively to Facebook. It won't take you much time. You're still going to spend more time engaging with people in Facebook, but I want you to create an Instagram because it's going to force you to become a better creator. And you all need to become better creators. Social media will not work as well for you if you live in the antiquated world. This is the new world. This is the innovative world. And you got to up your skills. And so, that's why I highly recommend Instagram, Tristan, is just because it's my creation platform. And, it's become my foundational platform.
I like that, man. Well, here's some stats for Instagram. It is extremely important. Now, it's dropped down to the 8th most visited website. It was the 4th, and then it became the 5th. And then it slowly dropped down as of December 2023, but it's seasonal, believe it or not. So we'll probably see it come back up to the 5th in the next few months. Here are some numbers. That's how many active users you've got. What we're seeing is, let me go over to the next one so you can see. I want you to take a picture of these. These are the 6 things that are trending for Instagram. There's a lot happening on Instagram. This is why Jeff loves it so much. It's like you could literally just stick to one of these things on Instagram and have success, and just do that all day. And so what we are seeing is that static posts, meaning how it used to be where you're just posting a picture. That's on a comeback, which is a beautiful thing to me, because sometimes I don't post videos. I'm like, I'm just going to post words. What we're seeing is those are being shared, they're being liked. Instagram is actually putting a lot of attention on static posts. So static meaning pictures or words, right? Reels are still outperforming everything else, which is not a surprise because that's their direct competition to TikTok. But the key has become with Reels to authentically connect with people, which is exactly what Jeff was talking about at the beginning. Don't overthink it. Sometimes you're just talking to your phone, specifically to an audience, and just being you, connecting quickly is what matters ultimately. Your profile matters. I'm going to stop on that one because I want Jeff to showcase on his phone why the profile matters and what you should be doing. In fact, we think it's so important we put it in the PDF workbook on what to look for and how to do it. So I'm going to stop sharing really quick. We'll come back to this. But Jeff, when it comes to profile for Instagram, what should we be looking for?
Yeah, this is really important. And so I'm gonna show some examples. And luckily, actually, I have some great examples because I did a coaching call yesterday, and I'm going to do some social audits for some people. And this particular gentleman's going to be one of them. And so I want you to understand the psychology behind social, and this applies to Facebook as well. I'll show you both. But what happens when a consumer goes to social media? I'll tell you what happens. They end up right here. They either go to their stories or they're just scrolling. Yeah, look at that. I show up on the threads. I like that. You just start scrolling. And this is what people do. The only way someone's going to end up on your profile is if you probably have either A, they know you, or B, you create content and they find it interesting and they go like, oh, okay, I want to go see like, oh, I like this one, Honeycutt Elliott. I'm going to go check out who this person is, right? So then you end up going to their profile. So I'm going to pick on Bill to start. So let's go back here. And let's just say I clicked on Bill's profile and this is where I end up. The first thing I see where my eyes take me is the top left. I see his profile picture and I see his name and I see nothing else. I see that he's a Marine or was a Marine maybe. And there's nothing that draws me into his profile, nothing. And maybe I'll give him the time of day to scroll his content. But by and large, the first impression that you make is your edit, is your profile, is your bio. And if you don't have a good bio set up, or worse yet, your bio looks like a commercial, you've got to understand that you're actually going to be turning people off. Let me show you another example. Here's one. If I go to her profile and you see how it lays out, first of all, it's all text. That's not aesthetically pleasing. Second of all, it reads horizontally. Third of all, it's too salesy. I'm looking at it and I'm just like, there's no consumer on the history of the planet that is thinking to themselves, I need another realtor. I need another lender in my friend list so that they can just flood my feed with their garbage. That's the thing you all have to come to grips with, that's how consumers look at us, because we are inundating their feed. Now, guess who's I'm going to crucify this gal in a nice way. I'm going to coach her. But when I look at her feed, all I see is spam. And I'm going to work with her and we're going to shift her content strategy, because this will not attract anyone that you actually want to sell a house to, that you actually want to do a loan with. It's just not going to attract them. And so what you want to do with your bio is you want to make it aesthetically pleasing and you want it to be a representation of who you are as a human being, but also use it as your personal accountability. So what you should be posting. So I'm going to show you 3 examples. So here's Eric. And you can see what it says here. So you've got his name and realtor. Done. End of story. You don't need to tell your audience that you're a real estate agent 15 times in your bio. That's annoying.
I'm a real estate agent. Oh, by the way, I'm a real estate agent in this city. Oh, by the way, I'm an
award-winning real estate agent. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to do that. In fact, it's a turnoff. It's not turning. It's going to send people away rather than attract them. But here's what's going to happen for Eric. Very simply, this is where I am. So anybody who's in Central Ohio, Columbus area, is going to say, ooh, okay, something in common. He's a foodie, which is announcing to his audience, I'm going to create content highlighting local restaurants. He's a Gen Z empty nester. This is just personal. If you're Gen X, if you're a Gen Z empty nester, I'm not sure when you started having kids. He's a Gen X empty nester. That's relatable. Right? He's a triathlete. Again, a niche topic that's going to relate to certain people. And I think the most important one that I wish you would put at the top, he's a type 2 diabetic. And I think a lot of you are thinking to yourselves, why would you put that on your profile? Let me explain why. When I was talking to Eric and he was explaining to me how he's a foodie, but being a foodie and a diabetic is hard. And when he goes to restaurants, he's got to be very careful about what he eats. And I'm like, dude, that's content. And I said, you should start creating content when you're at a restaurant and you're going through that struggle of what you can and can't eat, and start talking about being a diabetic. And every diabetic in the world is going to feel connected to you. And the algorithm's going to start showing it to like-minded people. And I said, so display that, because people are more interested in the fact that they have something in common with you than that you sell real estate. I'll show you a couple other quick examples. Ralph's, very simple. Now notice the common thread here. I have them create these bios in a vertical fashion because it's easier to read. It's bullet pointed, and they use emojis as their bullet points, which has got more of an aesthetically pleasing look. We as humans don't like a lot of text. We like pictures. And so give them that and give them an excuse. So when I peruse this about Ralph, I can see if I have something in common with him. And you can see Ralph even gets a little creative with it. Instead of saying he's a fisherman, he's a crappie slayer. Instead of saying he hunts deer, he's a deer whisperer. Instead of saying he likes Busch Light, he's a Busch Latte connoisseur. Like, he's having fun. He's displaying his personality by saying, I'm going to have fun with this, right? And I'll show you the last one, another one. There's a bunch of these, but Melanda's another one. Melanda, I coach her, and she told me, I'm boring. All I do is real estate. And I said, bullshit, Melanda. Let's start talking. And then we got down to brass tacks. She's a boy mom. She's a Vizsla dog lover. And if you know what a Vizsla is, you're going to connect with her just for that reason. She meal preps. She loves watching documentaries. She travels around the world, but only goes to the same place once. And so I said, this is what defines you. This is what you do. Now I want you to start documenting the things that you're already doing. And I want that to start to fill up your feed because her feed sucks. And I told her that. I said, look at your feed. It's all real estate. Your feed needs to start being filled up with these topics up at the top. Then you sprinkle in real estate, but you're going to get people following you because somebody else also is a Vizsla lover, because somebody wants to see what you're doing for meal prep, because they want ideas. You got to give people a reason to want to connect with you. And that's why this is so important, Tristan.
That is, man. I love this. And Jeff, I'm going to take people through a small journey to discover what they're great at, just so they can see. We're only going to spend 2 to 3 minutes on this. This was a whole session that we did in group coaching. And that's this thing that Jeff and I created. Let me wait till it loads. We made this flow chart with all the possible questions that you need to ask yourself. Finding your social media pillars, meaning finding your voice. A lot of you are having challenges as to what the hell to put up there on the profile. Like, what am I good at? So if you just focus on these top 4 to start, if you were just going to ask yourself, what hobbies do I do often? Like, what do you do? What do you do for fun? Jeff loves golf, even though he sucks at it. I'm joking. Well, actually, Jeff, do you suck at golf or not?
Depends who you're asking. If you're asking a 25 handicap, I'm awesome. If you're asking a 2 handicap, I suck. So yeah.
Okay. There you go. What's something I do every day? Oh, I do every day, even if I wasn't paid to do it. For me, it's reading. I love reading. I'm reading all the time on my spare time. Books and books and books. So obviously books. What's something I wish I had more time to do? Well, for me, the same answer. It's reading. For Jeff, what would yours be, Jeff?
Which one? What am I good at? What do I love?
What's something I wish I had more time to do?
Oh, yeah, golf, definitely.
See, there you go. It's already answering your questions for you. Yeah. Anyway, we go deep into this. Some of these questions are in the PDF. You're not going to find all of them, but we'll definitely go over this in the members section on one of the sessions. That's important as well. Now let's go back to the 6 major Instagram trends. By the way, if you didn't take a picture of this, go ahead and do it right now when it pops up. We're on profile. You see how my profile matters. Jeff, thank you for that, dude. I think it's extremely important, man.
Lots of questions, Tristan, about that. And I think, let me digress for a second too about the accounts on Instagram. Most of you are so your mindset about social has been created by Facebook. You have a business Facebook and a personal Facebook. That's not how Instagram works. Instagram isn't segmented like that. And you all know that your business pages are relative graveyards. Yes, I know some of you love your business pages, but the reality is your business page is suppressed. It's getting limited reach because it's pay to play. Your business page serves 2 functions. If you're running ads and it's a yellow pages, that's it. Your effort should be 99% on your personal. And then on your Instagram, there's 3 types of accounts you can have. Creator, business, personal. Notice how I said creator first. That's the type of account you want. Some of you are going to go into your settings and it's going to say switch to professional. Same thing. Switch to professional, switch to creator. It's the same thing. Some phones will say professional, some will say creator, but switch to that account because it gives you the most stuff, gives you the most tools, right? So only, listen, if you have 2 accounts now, I'm not saying blow it up if you've already put that effort. But remember what I said earlier? I'm trying to make social more efficient for you. Why have 2 accounts, which means you got to do double the posting? Just have 1. Remember, people didn't open up Instagram because they're interested in real estate content. They might be interested in homes, but they're not interested in market updates and rate updates and all that nonsense in your awards and that you sold another house. They're not interested. That's self-serving. What they're interested is that you own a French bulldog, or that you have a cat, or that you that's what they're interested in. That's how you're going to connect with people. So give them what they want, sprinkle in real estate. That's how you're going to end up winning more people over. We're just overthinking this stuff. And I'll be honest, Tristan, because a lot of people have asked me, like, why has this happened? And I don't know the answer other than I think that after the last 4, 5, 6 years, brokers have had, quote unquote, social media managers or experts that really weren't experts. and they didn't know what the hell they were doing or teaching, and they weren't actually practicing. They weren't doing it themselves, and they just thought they were going to, tell people what to do. And you've been taught all wrong. I can confidently say that for most of you.
And on top of that, you're going to be continually taught what's wrong if you don't pay attention to the changes that happen. This is why we're doing this right now. The same social media that was around 2-3 years ago isn't what's around right now. It just isn't. And we'll show you that specifically when it comes to YouTube, so you can see the changes that are coming. Jeff's right. Next, live video matters. We'll talk about live video on TikTok as well, but live video matters here as well. And your audience needs to know when you're going to be doing this. As much as we like being sporadic as business owners, the same time, and I put the Same Bat channel because I grew up watching Batman as a kid, but same time, Same Bat channel matters. Like, what's the name of this thing that you're doing that you're showing up on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. or Saturdays at 6 p.m.? What is it? And your audience will get used to it. Next, tell your stories on Stories. Jeff and I do this completely different. There's no right answer on this one, except that you need to be using Stories. And the key is you need to be going through the day and sharing what's happening in your life or sharing what you're watching. For me, I'll probably make you laugh if you're following me on Stories, because it's always something about eating, dieting, something that made me laugh, a raccoon. I put a lot of raccoon stuff on there, maybe because our logo's a raccoon, I don't know. But Jeff doesn't do any of that. Jeff posts a lot of what's happening through his day, what he's doing with his family, where he's going. That's how you can follow what Jeff is doing. And lastly, everything that happens on Instagram, you should be leading to the Messenger. If people have questions, if you want to engage with people, all of the good, deep relationships happen on Messenger. And I don't think that you guys are using that enough to connect with people. There was an earlier question, Jeff, and I don't know where it is because our chat's blowing up.
Yeah, you guys are really engaged. Thank you. We love it.
Thank you for that. There was a question that said, but do people actually list homes from Instagram?
Oh, sure.
And I thought it's a valid question, because I know a lot of people don't believe that social media works. The fact is that it happens multiple times. It happens so often, you can't keep count on it anymore. The key is treating Instagram like a place you're actually prospecting and building relationships, because that's what prospecting truly is. Building relationships so that people can connect with you deeper, so they can trust you enough to transact with you and use you, whatever your services are. And that happens through Messenger and through the channels there. We call Messenger and the channels there communities, but that's what it really is. Do you have anything you want to add here before I move on to best practices?
No, there's a lot of questions, so I'll wait for that.
Oh, you know what? Let's go to this next one, and then let's answer those questions for Instagram. Here are the things that you need to be paying attention to as far as best practices. Utilize visual appealing imagery and videos, the locations for where you are with your videos. If you're not great at hooks, those matter, right? Images are on the rise again, which is great. That's what we meant by static posts. Engage with stories and reels for higher visibility. Your job is to engage with people as you're consuming a lot of this content. It's not just to scroll through and not say anything and just go to the next one. Use Instagram to connect with people deeper, and then use relevant hashtags and location tags. Yes, hashtags still work. They work a lot more on Twitter, and they work well on TikTok. Hashtags are still working pretty decently here, but don't overwhelm people with 30 hashtags, just 5 to 6 hashtags. And then the location tags matter, because what's happening on Instagram is also happening all through all social outlets. Is they're starting the algorithm now with where you're located. So they're showing your video, your content to the people around you first. And if they engage, and that goes to the next level. All right, let's go to the questions, and then we'll go over to our next social media outlet.
I want to say this about some of the questions. I know a lot of you, it's going so fast. We're going to miss your question. Feel free to come, question us in Drunk on Social, and obviously for many of you, join the group. That's what it's for. If you join our private coaching, our group coaching, you get 3 calls a month, but also you have a messenger group where you have access to us all the time. And it's very active, literally every day. And it's not just me and Tristan. It's a lot of people that have been with us for over a year, and they're now learning this stuff, and we're all working together. So if you don't get your questions answered, you want to be a part of something like this ongoing. That's what that is for. That's what our Drunk on Social coaching is for. Tristan, the first question I want to answer was, I think Hector asked, do people really care about my personal stuff? And I'm gonna reverse your question, Hector. This is where we've been taught wrong. The truth is, Hector, nobody cares about your real estate. Remember what we're talking about here. Social media. Let me say it again. Social media. This never was business media. Mark Zuckerberg never put out a memo that said, I'm shifting Facebook and Instagram to become sales tools. Never. We just forced it on audiences. And now you wonder why there's such a negative consumer sentiment towards real estate. Why? Because we've become the used car salesman of the world. And so the truth is, Hector, you can beta test this. Trust me on this. You go in every day in your stories or on your feed, whatever, post what you ate for breakfast every day and post an update on the market and see what gets more engagement. You tell me which one gets more engagement. You'll find out. That's the reality is. Here's what I want people to understand. When you're thinking about social, most consumers, homeowners, renters, people that are our target, people in our community, social media is an outlet. It is their safe place. It's an escape. It's a release. They go work a 9-to-5 job that they're miserable in, and then they come home and they relax and they get on social, and it's their escape into the fantasy world that they don't actually get to live. And you get to be that person that shows up, that gives them what they're looking for, which is not a Monday market update. They're looking to connect with people. They're looking to relate with people. Tristan, somebody asked me last night, an investor, he said, I want to share, we just lost money on an investment. And he's like, I feel like all investors are only sharing their wins. I'm like, dude, 100% share this. Share that it's not all rainbows and puppy dogs. I said, you watch, David, you're going to get more connection. You're going to have more engagement because you shared the truth, because that's relatable. We all fail at life over and over and over and over and over again. And social media has portrayed and painted this picture of perfection and filters. And honestly, those of you that are willing to get more personal with people and share your struggles, honestly, you're going to do better. And share your damn cereal and share what you're eating for lunch and share stupid stuff. I mean, honestly, yes, the answer is yes. That was a long answer for a very simple yes.
Yeah, I like that. And look, there's no right answer either as far as how much business, how much personal you should post. We see some businesses post just pure business and have millions of followers, right? And engagement and do business from it. Yet we also see the other side of this, which is they put all personal, all fun, and they get a whole bunch of business and have millions of followers. There's no right answer. There is one right answer though, as far as content, how you portray it. It has to be in story form. You have to tell me a story. I have to connect with you. If I don't connect with you, then I'm going on to the next person. And this is why what Jeff was saying with the business owner, you're telling me a story now, and you're adding dimensions to humanity that I can connect with, right? And they're all emotion-based, right? Fun and excitement, sadness, anger, all of these. And it's in story form. And that's the part that we miss. Do you have that sweater, Leah? Can I have it?
I was seeing questions about age groups and the questions about, I think we're afraid to share content that, first of all, if you make a mistake on a real estate transaction, I'm not talking about sharing that. I'm talking about relatable stuff. I'm talking about, like I said, as an investor, I'm talking about when your kids are acting like assholes. It's okay to share that. You know why? Because it's relatable. When your dog took a crap on the floor and you're pissed off, it's okay to share that because people are going to get a kick out of it. You know why? Because they live it too. That's what grabs them. We're so we have this whatever's inside of us that makes us just think that we can only share the perfect. And I mean, I the best analogy or example, Tristan, is females. And there's so many of you. I already know this, and I know Christina's on here, and Christina does a phenomenal job of just being authentic and real. I know this. I know Christina doesn't only press play on her camera when she's dialed up, because she's learned and realized that her authenticity is what engages people. And there's many others of you that are just like that. But if you're the female, and I'm picking on you because there's males, we tend to care less. Our hair doesn't have to be perfect. But honestly, if you're more raw, you're going to get more engagement. And one of the things that I tell females to do to test this out is the first time you get over that fear and say, I'm going to do it, I'm going to put myself out there as raw and authentic, you should say at the beginning of the video, I'm super uncomfortable right now because I'm usually have myself looking how I want to look, and I'm not doing it because I was advised to try this. Like literally set the tone.
That's a strong hook, man.
Yeah. And then go into your video. You're going to see people that are like, you go, girl. I'm proud of you. You look beautiful. That's what's going to happen. And just believe me, that stuff works full. Pamela Anderson. I haven't heard that word in a while, that name in a while.
Well, I think she went all no makeup, very authentic, which is what we're talking about in general.
You know, and here's another great question. I want to engage with people who want to buy or sell and not people interested in my personal life. Again,
it's a common misconception.
This isn't Zillow. This isn't realtor.com.
Yeah.
These are social networking entertainment platforms that we try to go in and make Zillow and realtor.com. That's never going to happen.
Can I give you an example really quick?
Please.
It's just a few months ago. This is the most recent one, and this happens often, but this one's for real estate specific. I only had about 3,000 views, and it's not a lot for what we do, so it's little on Instagram on a video that I did where I visited a restaurant, a local restaurant, and I thought they were going to serve real hamburgers. So I was looking forward to this for the grand opening. Jeff knows the story. So I show up and I'm excited for burger. I love burgers. They're like my number one food source, right? And I'm there and I'm looking at the menu and I realize at that moment, and so did my family, that it's a vegan place. And in nowhere in their advertising or anywhere else did they mention that it was vegan. And I mean, I don't mind vegan. I just don't want to be surprised when I get there that it's vegan when they were promising me burgers. And I'm like, okay, I'll go through with it. And I order it. I'm disappointed. The food sucked. I never visited that place again. But I did a video on it. And I didn't say where it was. I had a message. Actually, I had a voicemail drop from a local saying, hey, Tristan, I love that video. Listen, I didn't know you were here. I know exactly the restaurant that you're talking about because it happened to me. By the way, I noticed that you're in this is a voice message. I noticed that you're in real estate. We're thinking of putting our house on the market. And I looked at your profile and I Googled you. You're everywhere. Can we meet up? This is a voice message. I didn't even pick up the phone. And we listed the home off of Instagram, off of a voicemail. I didn't pick up my phone, off of a video I did because I shared something that I was not happy with, that they knew exactly where it was. That's the power. You connect with them deeper than anywhere else because they can go to Zillow to find any real estate agent.
Let me remind everybody that, you know, when you go commit to a lead platform, you know, if you went and bought that lead platform, that lead aggregator, and you bought these leads, you already know going in that it's not get rich quick. And, you know, you're going to have to work 100 leads to get one maybe. And that one maybe is going to take 6, 12, 18 months to maybe convert. That's what you're committing to. When you get into social, you have to understand it's also a long game. It's a connection tool. It's a top of mind awareness tool. It's how you want to use it. But what you'll find, and what I've learned from it, and what Tristan's learned from it, it's my everything tool now. My entire business plan and strategy comes from social, because I use it exactly how I described it in the beginning, and now we use it. And the reason why we gain a lot of followers is not because I'm barking about mortgages and real estate. It's because I'm real. And I think I know people, there's a lot of people on this call that if I asked you, you know the name of my wife? Have you ever met her? You know the name of my 5-year-old daughter? Have you ever met her? No, but they feel like they know these people. Why? Because I'm real and I'm authentic. And it's like the Fitzer Family reality TV show for some of you. And that's why you're connected and follow me, because I'm relatable. And if I'm talking about mortgage programs, man, I'd have gone nowhere on social if that's how what I was
connected with me, man. I'll tell you that. You would not have connected with me.
No. I caught you in person. That's how I got you.
Yeah, but still, I watched that growth. Here, let me share with you the workbook really quick, because I know a lot of you are asking. And if you go to the workbook, there is a section. Here it is, the calendar that we come up with every month. There's a blank one. I know it's sideways, so don't worry. If you prop this open the right way, this gives you ideas for topics for your business, and it alternates them between an acronym. It's STAY. And if you've been following us, you know what that is. You're going to sell with a story, you're going to teach or give advice on things that you love, and then you talk about yourself. So go to that, and I think we drop that into, there it is. Is it right there? Yeah, there's a workbook. So go there, take a look at that. That'll answer a lot of your questions. Now let's go to, because if we don't move forward, we're not going to get through, because we still got TikTok, YouTube, X, and LinkedIn. And I have a feeling we're not going to get through all of them. So let's go back. Where are we? Right.
Are we going to TikTok now?
I think we are, man. Let me make sure.
I want to start it here, because I actually saw a comment. There might have been more than one, and I'm not going to pick on you, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you still look at TikTok or think that TikTok is dancing and lip syncing and singing, boy, you are way behind the times, because TikTok has evolved. There are more financial planners and professionals putting out high quality short form content for their business, and it's TikTok that has changed every other platform. And so I'm not telling you that you have to go all in on TikTok, but it is the place where you'll probably find the most growth in terms of an audience, in terms of viewership. That doesn't necessarily equate to business. Here's what I suggest. Remember what I said. I'm standing by what I said. Instagram cornerstone, connect it to Facebook. Those are your most important ones. Once you build a cadence, it gets easier and creating content's easy, guess what you should do? Start multiplying that same content over to TikTok. Start multiplying that content over to LinkedIn. And so let me start there. That's where I'm done. I'm off my soapbox.
I mean, I honestly thought that TikTok was for losers, but you're convincing me other. I'm joking, dude.
No, teens. Right, I mean, it was for teenage girls in the beginning, but that was like 4 years ago. It's way beyond that now.
Yeah. Here's the key: niche down to expand. Isn't that the craziest thing, Jeff? Wouldn't you think it's like the opposite?
Yeah.
But it's not. It's actually the way you want to grow. It's the only way to grow right now. You're going to niche down, and you're going to realize that you should have been doing this for a much, much longer time. We're going to skip through these. These are numbers. They're just surpassed everything that people would imagined would happen with TikTok. Again, I'm going to skip through this just so that we go to the good stuff, because I know Jeff's going to share his screen on this. But here, take a picture of this, please. Here are the 6 major trends that you need to watch out for this year when it comes to TikTok. And I'm going to read through them really quick, and I'm going to ask you which one you're going to be focused on. Long video, believe it or not, is now being preferred, which is amazing. Green screen, trending music we use often. You'll see some of our videos that have blown up. We shop with TikTok. Unfortunately, Jeff and I don't have anything to sell yet.
I hate that feature.
But it's blowing up.
Yep.
Live video matters for growth more than you think. Stories. I don't use stories as much, but it's a big thing there. and use text on your videos. I think it's more of a tactic than a trend. But out of these 6, which one are you going to be using? Jeff, if you look at these, which one are you going to be focused on for 2024? And then I'll tell you which one I'm focused on.
For me, it's live, but I'm going to preface that by saying I have a huge engaged audience and I have to get more live to continue to grow that audience. That's not going to be for most of you though.
Wait, hold on. If I weren't you, which one would you say we should focus on then? If we didn't
honestly, 2 probably, because even long video, that's for like influencers, that's for creators like me, that's for people that are making money at it. I think it's, and by the way, when we say long, it's over a minute. However, the TikTok is now going to start allowing up to 30-minute videos. And the reason they're doing that is to compete with YouTube. But I don't know that I'm going to go that route, Tristan. So, I mean, I think for a beginner, TikTok really is more of just an extension of what you're already doing in the other places. And, you know, I mean, I'm going to share an example here because TikTok is the reason why I've partnered and opened a brokerage in a geographic area. TikTok. Let me say that again. It's the reason why I opened a damn brokerage. Like if you'd asked me 3-4 years ago that would TikTok be the reason why I did that, I would have said, you are high and whatever you're smoking, give me some of that. And it's because I've won an audience. Now I've since expanded my TikTok to YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and everywhere, but it all started with TikTok, which is, I mean, it's kind of mind blowing to be honest with you. It's crazy good.
Dude, I love seeing that growth. And I think a lot of people misunderstand TikTok because they think that it's still what 6 years ago, 5 years ago when it was just all dancing. So when you're looking at the opportunity with TikTok is, again, going back to what we started with, is the idea of building communities around a topic, around topics. And if you look at what Jeff has done, which we'll jump in, but if you look at what Jeff has done with the Ozarks, you can duplicate that with anything that you're doing. And it doesn't have to be area specific. It could be idea specific, meaning if you love dogs, if you love a specific breed, if you love talking about parks and going to parks in general, if you love food, I mean, look how many food places have blown up. If you love real estate and helping people specifically buy certain types of homes, or you look at historical homes, there's so much you can do here. And the idea of TikTok has come down to niching down to expand. And that has been the key. We were talking to, I don't know if Amber's on here. You know, Amber Ortega, Jeff, but she jumped into our prospecting call. We have a prospecting call on Thursdays. And I go, who are you calling, Amber? She's like, well, I had a video on TikTok go viral and we had over 1 million views on it. I was trying to find the video. And she says it was just about me talking about a specific type of loan. And she's out of New Mexico. And I said, okay. And she says, I'm following up with those people that just never got back to me. By the end of 45 minutes of prospecting, wait, is she here? Oh yeah, Beth, she did share that video. She had 2 of those people asked to get pre-approved at the end of 45 minutes. And this is an old video of people she hadn't reached that she had already talked to and closed some up. So I want you to rethink the ability to grow your business with TikTok. That's one misunderstanding.
You know,
Jeff,
Tristan, a lot of people have asked about niching down, and you know, so this is what I tell all of my students is that the hardest part with social is, first of all, we had it all wrong. We've been doing it all wrong for the most part, not everybody, but generally speaking, we have been. And so when you basically quote unquote start over, you know, the advice that I give people is that you've been hearing from coaches and social media experts that you need to niche down. But that's kind of flawed advice, because the truth is you don't get to choose your niche. I didn't choose my niche. My audience chose my niche. And so the problem is, which makes this a little bit harder, is that when you're trying to find your niche, it means you got to throw all kinds of shit up against a wall to see what sticks. And which is a detriment to your social growth because you're going to confuse the algorithm. And so the reason why you want to niche down is A, because it trains the algorithm, it teaches the algorithm who to show your content to. But if you go into this and say, I want my niche to be first-time homebuyers, I want my niche to be, people, whatever it is, real estate related. There was a bunch of ideas I've seen floating around. And then you keep posting about that stuff and it goes nowhere. That's your audience telling, I don't care and I'm not interested. And then guess what happens? The algorithm, the platform suppresses you. And then your content is getting about this much viewership. You might have 2, 3, 4, 5,000 friends on Facebook, and this many, you can't even see it, are seeing your content. You know why? Because the point of every social platform is to do what? Keep the user on the platform. So the platform rewards those of us who get the most engagement because we are servicing Facebook, servicing Instagram, because we're holding attention. When you're posting crap that nobody cares about and you wonder why your content doesn't get any engagement, it's because the algorithm doesn't like you. And so that's why you got to start throwing up against the wall, going back to Hector's question. You got to throw that stuff up there because we want to be everything to everyone, but we all know that doesn't work. You have to focus on a community. You have to focus on pickleballers. You have to focus on gardeners. You have to focus on the things that and this is why Tristan and I have been saying forever, like, don't make more work for yourself. What are you already doing? What already defines you as a human? And just start turning the camera on yourself more often while you're doing it and see what resonates with people. When we talk about Lake of the Ozarks, folks, Tristan knows the story very, very well because we've been talking about it for years. My TikTok was my life, personal, social media tips, video tips, some Lake of the Ozarks. It was just a mishmash of all kinds of stuff. And guess what? After about 2 years of doing this, it just like dawned on me one day, dude, nobody cares about anything but Lake of the Ozarks. And I'm like, that's it. I'm done with everything else. I'm niching down on this geographic area. And ever since then, I've just grown and grown and grown. I've been doing it I started August of last year. So it's almost a year and a half. After the first month of niching down and changing my channel to Lake of the Ozarks Lifestyle, I got a message. I started mid-August. September 15th, I got a DM on Facebook from somebody in Colorado. The Lake of the Ozarks is in Missouri, that said, hey, you're the Lake of the Ozarks expert. We're thinking about buying there. Where do you recommend? Mind you, I never posted one thing about real estate, not one thing. But guess what? This viewer deemed me as the expert, the resident expert, the person who knows where he should look. And he looked to me. He didn't look to the real estate agents throwing out all the garbage all over the other platforms. He looked at me. And then it was that moment that I was like, dude, I didn't expect this to happen so fast. I'm all in. And now here I am a year and a half later. Christina even said, I get a lot of free shit. Not only do I get free shit, that's not why you do it. I get paid by the people that create the free shit to promote the free shit that they sent me. And we've sold real estate. And I started a brokerage. And I'm attracting agents to that brokerage. And so I'm less than a year and a half into this journey. And I don't know where it's going to go. Check back with me a year from now. Check back for me 2 years from now. Here's my goal. I want to have #1 market share at the Lake of the Ozarks. That's a big goal because there's a lot of old hats that have been in real estate down at that market. And that's my goal. My goal is to win and then preach it from the mountaintops to all of you that this is how this can work if you just commit to it. Soapbox over.
Oh, I like that, dude. Good job on getting on your soapbox there. For you that are wondering, the different age groups, YouTube has the widest range. They cover the most young, very like babies, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, all the way up to older. So YouTube has the widest range for sure. Facebook is definitely on the older side. Most of the people on Facebook own a home. If you're going for the real estate side of things, multiple homes they own. IG and TikTok have the younger ages. LinkedIn is the professional, right? They usually have a career or they've had great jobs, multiple jobs. And X, believe it or not, has a wide range as well. Younger, getting a lot younger, which is great for them, and older. X tends to be a lot more like LinkedIn, where that has a lot of professionals, and a combination of YouTube. So I know there was a question of that, and I wanted to target that first.
Can I remind everyone too that you are watching, and it's not me. So you're watching like the OG of what it means to succeed with a Facebook group too. I mean, this isn't just about, I know we're on TikTok right now too, but I mean, what Tristan did by building a lab code, like lab code agents, I mean, that's why he is a freaking icon in the industry. I mean, legitimately. And I think he would say it, like, you would have never gained what you've gained over the last 7 to 10 years if it wasn't for lab code agents. You would have just been, not, and I don't mean to minimize it, you would have just been a badass realtor in the greater LA area. Yeah. But you gain national presence and opportunities beyond your wildest dreams. Because if I had asked you 15 years ago, hey, you're going to start this Facebook group and you're going to become nationally famous, you're going to become, I would argue, a top 5 name in real estate on a national level, you would have said, hand me that pipe.
Yeah, yeah. Show me that earlier. I hated Facebook, so I would not have believed you. That is so funny. Yeah. Very true. Let's go to TikTok. I want to show you really quick. I'm going to show you mine, and then Jeff can show you on mobile so that you can see the difference. This is the one I have right now. I've got multiple TikToks. We're testing different things out. You can see green screens, 1.5 million, real estate specific, 300,000, dumb junk that I'm testing, 1 million. More recent green screen last week about real estate rates dropping, 146,000 likes. I got quite a bit of followers from that one. I test things out all the time, continuously, to see what's working, what's not. And I need you to be doing the same thing as you're discovering what it is that you're doing. Some of them will hit, some of them won't. But like Jeff said at the very beginning of the session for TikTok, if you are testing out TikTok and trying to figure it out, really green screen and trends is probably the way you want to go. And then we show you that in depth on how to do it, what to do, hooks and everything. But if we did that right now, that would take probably a good 20, 30 minutes.
That's why you joined Social Genius. And let me point out too that, part of the problem with the perception of how we should be doing social is a lot of you are watching people like Tristan, and that's not fair judgment for you. Don't compare yourself to Tristan. He owns the real estate space on social media. You don't. And you got to figure out what you can own on a scale that's realistic for you. If I try to be Tristan on social, I'm going to fail. And I stumbled upon my niches. But you know how I stumbled upon them? Throwing shit up against the wall and saw what stuck. It didn't happen overnight. It took time. I just committed to this process. And for many of you, like I said in the very beginning, that commitment needs to be about an hour a day. That's it. Like, that's it. But you got to get committed. And that's the bigger piece of this. And part of that commitment for some of you might be hiring these massive teams of a media team. And for others, it's going to be very DIY. And you're going to hire us because you want to stay in this circle and you want to have these conversations every month, because that's what we're doing. And so, and for others, and this is to prove to you how non-sales pitchy we are, you can go do all this DIY on YouTube if you want. So you got to decide, do you want to be within a family of people that are collaborating? Do you want to do it on your own? Do you want to hire people? But here's the one thing I will tell you. If you think you're going to hire a social media management company, and Prayful, I gave him a 2-letter, 1-word answer when he asked earlier, should I pay $997 to hire a social media management company? My answer was an emphatic no. Because if you're never going to find a company that can display your authenticity correctly. All they do is create consistency. That's it. And it's going to give you a consistency that fails. We've tried this. Tristan and I both have. It doesn't work. You have got to commit to being a part of the process, because it's you that people are going to want to buy. Anybody on this, and I don't need you to answer unless you want to, how many homes have you sold comparatively because of the name on your shirt versus who you are? How many of you comparatively have sold more homes because of the name on your shirt versus who you are? And I already know the answer to the question. If there's anybody who says the name on their shirt sold them homes, you're a unicorn. Everybody else, it's because of you as a human. That's exactly why you have to lean into being that human, because people are going to buy you, not the balloon, not KW, not EXP. They don't give a crap. What they care about is working with someone on the biggest transaction of their life that they feel good to be around. That's it. Or that they can relate to. And, you know, social media just gives you an outlet to display that billboards never did. That's it.
That's good, man. I like your soapbox tantrums.
Sorry, man. Maybe I should in a second life I should become a preacher. Maybe I should go into the religion field.
You know what? You need a t-shirt that says I'm also a soapbox. Here's the link for Amber's video. Thanks, James. James sent it over to me. I like it. So take a look at that one. That one got her multiple transactions. Now, let me go to the last page of this. And then we'll head over.
Oh, yeah. Did you want me to show my TikTok too?
Yeah, right after this one. Okay. Share your TikTok. And then we're going to go into YouTube. Here are best practices. Create trending content and participate in challenges. Be you. Everyone else is taken. I think that was Oscar Wilde who said that. It's more key here and on YouTube than anywhere else. This is just it. I mean, if if you had some of these great soapbox sessions on TikTok or YouTube lives, I bet you do really well with them, man. Or you know what? Facebook lives in lab coats. Those would do really well. You would do really well on those.
I have more of a tendency of pissing people off in lab coat agents.
Study other trends as you scroll. I think this is one thing we don't do as just people. We just go through wildly scrolling and wasting time. Study others. See why you're looking at a certain video. See why you're spending your time rewatching it, or why are you even engaging with it? What stopped you in the first place? And see what inspires you from it. I think we don't do that enough. All right, Jeff, go to
yeah, and as I'm doing that too, I want to mention, so first of all, Nancy asked the question about how people find you, and she mentions Google. If any of you are familiar with SEO, you now know that SEO is more driven by social than it is by websites anymore. And your social presence, your consistency on social, because when you go Google somebody now and they have a social presence, you'll see, if you Googled my name, you're going to basically be inundated with all my social profiles. And I dominate on the Google with my name because of my dominance on social. And it's pretty incredible. So that's another reason why leaning into social is very important. There was another comment too about what people, the other, you know, when it comes to it, I think it was about how people connect with you because you provide a solution, right? But here's the reality: as time continues to evolve and these Gen Zers and millennials get off their couches, get off mom and dad's couch and start buying homes, right? They don't even want to engage with you until they can stalk you first. This is just the way humans are now evolving. And I'm a Gen Xer, and I even do that. So when I get a resume across my desk, before I even schedule an interview, I go stalk them on social because I want to get to know a little bit about them first. First, it makes me look good when I can say something personal to them. But second, I want to know if maybe they don't match with me, right? I don't know. And if you don't think that the consumers, as time goes on, are going to continue to judge you based on your social presence before they even get to know the solution you provide, you're lying to yourself, because that's where it's going. And so, as Tristan mentioned, and I'll segue over to YouTube, Tristan, as well. Honestly, the only reason I'm showing you this mainly is just because use this as inspiration. In fact, I don't care if any of you follow me, because none of you on this call are gonna be my consumer at the Lake of the Ozarks. And that's what this channel was dedicated for. But if you need it for inspiration, I post about 340 videos a year, almost daily. And it's just lifestyle content. And you'll see I do green screens about events, and it's all very Lake of the Ozarks centric. And I engage with my audience, and I talk to them. I mean, and you'll see, like this video, Tristan, which I shared this. I'll share the data. All this was a green screen about a bar that went up for sale. And the reason why I shared it was not because of the 65,000 views, or 1,300 likes, or the 83 comments. It was the almost 1,300 shares. And the reason why that's important, folks, is because that video is very centered around something happening in this geographic area. I guarantee out of those 1,288 shares, every single one of them is somebody local, is somebody that's interested in Lake of the Ozarks. It's not people from India, China, Los Angeles, Miami. It's local people. That kind of visibility. I got free marketing from 1,288 people, gained 101 followers. And that's what I want. I want to be known as the local guy, because when people start thinking about moving to the lake or buying around the lake, I want them to think of me as the person they want to talk to. And then I can become a rainmaker to my audience. Now, I mentioned, Tristan, that we've since moved, we've moved to other platforms. My primary focus in 2024 is actually YouTube now. And so this is where I'm putting my efforts. Now,
perfect transition.
Yeah, exactly. I will tell you that my focus, so what we did was, and I was just having this conversation with one of our students the other day, and she was talking about how she wants to move to YouTube. And I told her, I said, before you get too deep on YouTube, master the art of the short form video first. And because long form videos are harder to create, they're more time consuming to create, and you got to be better at video. And I said, here's the other thing. I now have hundreds, probably thousands of videos about the Lake of the Ozarks. So here's my strategy on YouTube: one long form a week and a short form every single day. So when you go into my content, and by the way, we started this YouTube channel in June, and this is all organic. I have not run ads. I've not boosted anything. So I've got 738 organic subscribers. We've got 256 videos up. We post a short form every day because we've got this library on TikTok, and then I create long forms. And now you can see, I'll just give you a quick little taste, like the best ice cream at the lake. I did a series recently where myself and one of the realtors who joined our teams, we got into his car. I set up a couple cameras and we drove around town talking about each town and what are the best things to do off water. And so we did 5 series. We called it carpool karaoke. We didn't sing, but that's what these are. You can see what the content is. It's all about things that would happen at the Lake of the Ozarks. And honestly, I'll be honest with you guys, this is fun. This is sustainable. I enjoy this part of prospecting, and I hate traditional prospecting. And that's why I think I'm having more success and I'm enjoying what I'm doing, because this is fun.
I like this.
Your turn on YouTube.
As you're looking at what Jeff is doing, you may be thinking, well, should I go that route and do the community? I think it's too early to tell. I think a lot of you are in the phase where you're discovering who your audience is. You may think you know, but if we go back to what Jeff was saying, which is you need to post a lot more to allow your audience to tell you what they want to watch from you. I think that's the stage that you're in. And this is why we start at the very beginning with answer the public, Google, Bard, all of these, because a lot of you don't know what to post out there. So it's a matter of outlining the content first, deciding what's going to go out there, and then waiting to see what your audience says. And with that, I want to transition over to YouTube because it was a perfect transition. Here, I'm going to skip the YouTube one. Here is the statement that we want you to remember. For YouTube, tell a story. Don't just make a statement. There are too many talking heads, not just on YouTube, but everywhere. Like, what's the story? Why should I be listening to you? What is it? And if you think of the story aspect of everything that we do when it comes to social, it goes back thousands of years. Look at religious texts. The reason we remember them is because they're made in a story form. And so I can talk to you all day. Jeff can talk to you here all day, but all you're going to remember are the stories we tell. That's what's really going to connect with you. And so with that, I really want to quickly show you, when it comes down to YouTube, what it should be looking like. There's someone, and this is everyone overthinking it on YouTube, and this is the beautiful piece, because Jeff knows, we saw Sam Sulek, who I'm going to show you right now. He started with 3,000 followers. He already had a few thousand followers. This guy works out all day. He literally just uses this device right here, just to show you that you're overthinking him. He uses this. This is called a cell phone, just in case you were wondering. And it has a camera. He literally just props this up, talks to it, turns it off, and then props it back up when he works out for an hour. And he's gone from 3,000 followers to 2.7 million in less than a year. And he has no crew. He has no editing skills. He has no thumbnails. This is him right here. This is the perfect video to show you, because a lot of you are overthinking everything. And this is Sam overthinking nothing. Watch his videos. He has no, look at his thumbnails. They're they're just a video upload. That's it. He starts off with him in the car. You'll watch it. Sometimes they're 20 minutes, sometimes they're close to an hour. And everyone is loving Sam. Some people don't even work out, they just watch Sam. And there's two pieces to this. It's the personal approach, like people want to connect with you. They want to know that you're real. And they also want to learn along the way. So when you're thinking of YouTube, YouTube is dramatically changing. It's going back to its roots. And what we're watching is, we're watching TikTok do the same thing. We're watching Instagram do the same thing. And Facebook's always last, but eventually you'll probably start seeing on Facebook as well. And this is where I want to remind you that you're overthinking it. All you need is your phone. Jeff, you always say this, but Jeff's shitty video will outperform your non-existent one every day.
Yeah.
And that's key. Remember that. Here, let's go. There's some great stats. YouTube is still the second most visited website in the world. Google's the first. We won't even go into the algorithm. We're going to slow down here for you. But we've only got about an hour left, and we need to get through X and LinkedIn. So I think YouTube is extremely important. So the next few minutes, we're going to spend some time here. Less time on X, less time on LinkedIn. But here, take a picture of this one for yourself. Long video is still ruling for sure. I mean, look at Sam, for example. You could, well, I'll show you some of mine too, but the long video is still the way to go. Because one thing that TikTok is adapting quickly to is the long video formats. They realize that the long video is allowing them to put in ads in between, so that the influencer and the company can make money, because this is how YouTube makes money. This is how they pay their influencers. And this is key, because how they pay also affects who shows up to the platform. And this is why X is gaining momentum too. But for this is what's allowed most influencers to make money, to make a living, and to make the outlet successful. This is why you start seeing people go to YouTube. So short videos, they're great. They're a great way to grow your channel as well on YouTube. The thumbnail still matters, but if you look at Sam's video, you can look at ours. They've been simplified now. It's a lot less graphics than they used to be. Title matters a lot because YouTube is directly connected to Google. This is why
Kristen, you just got grammared. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Not you. I guess that would be the team. Tate, Drunk on Social team. You just got grammared.
Yeah, fix it up. Fix it up. Your title,
go, Beth. Way to go, Beth.
Thank you, Beth. I appreciate that. Number 5, description matters, which we'll get into really quick. And I want you to remember that editing is optional. What we're seeing right now is a simplicity of shooting the video on your phone and just uploading it is working. And that tells me a lot of where the current audience is in general. That means that people are tired of all this flashy stuff. People just want to connect with you. They want to connect with your message. They want to listen to the valuable, hopefully stories that you have, or the valuable content that you're giving. And this is extremely important, Jeff. I know you're focused more on the short content because you're uploading it directly into YouTube. But what are you noticing from the followers that you're getting? Are most of those coming from the short content?
On YouTube? On TikTok?
On YouTube.
I don't get a ton of engagement on YouTube. It's pretty minimal.
What are you? Yeah. Well, you do have followers, man. 758.
Yeah, I think they're just watching. What's that?
All of those have come from your shorts.
Actually, I haven't even studied it. I'm not. I have not dug into my analytics because I'm more focused on the cadence and the consistency above all. I just literally yesterday went into the back end for the first time and was just kind of playing around, and then I saw a squirrel and left it because I kind of practice what I preach, which is if I got caught up in the analytics, it would paralyze me, and I'd probably stop. And so I'm more focused on, hey, I've only been doing this since June, so don't be deterred by the fact that most of your videos underperform. Yeah, and I'm just more focused on just being consistent and having that cadence and continuing to go. And by the way, monetization is not my goal and shouldn't be any of your goals. I make the most money on TikTok and it's grocery money at best. I'll never probably pay my bills from monetization. If you think you're going to, you are going to be probably sorely disappointed. The truth is, Prayful asked the question, how many do you have to have on YouTube to monetize? I think it's 1,000. But the truth is, Prayful, you got to be getting in the millions of views to make anything substantial. And even then, you'll probably be disappointed. And I'll tell you who told me this, Austin Armstrong. The dude's crushing YouTube, and he's told me he's been pretty disappointed by the checks. They're not as good as he thought that they would be.
Yeah, very true. I'm going to show you the back end of YouTube just so that you understand what you need to be looking at as far. If you want to take YouTube and be like, this is going to be the outlet that I'm going to use to grow my business, my influence, my connections, everything. This is what you're going to have to take a look at. This is the back end of YouTube. You go to the little profile button on the top right. And we go into this in detail in the coaching, but YouTube Studio, I would click on it and then everything else would pop open, shows you the subscribers there, shows you all the videos. I want to go to analytics on the left, and I'm going to go through this pretty fast, but that's okay. If I go and click more there, here's the secret, right? I can take a look at the content. You'll see the content here. I could take a look at traffic source, which is important, extremely important. Geography, where people are coming from, if I want to focus in a certain area because I want to do more business there, cities. Viewer age and gender. The rest, for me, aren't as important. These are the main ones. If I look at traffic source, I'm really doing a good job right now for YouTube search. That means we're doing great on titles that we're putting it in because people are finding our videos on YouTube. And the browse feature. External, about 13%, which for us, we know what that is. It's the newsletter that we've got. And if we continue going to geography, again, if I'm Jeff and I wanted to take a look at this, I probably would want to see, well, where United States, definitely amazing, right? And then it's split up. Cities, Jeff, this is what I probably would take a look at.
Yeah.
I would want to probably take, I don't even know what the hell happened there, but cities, I would want to take a look at geography, where in the United States I'd expand, right? To take a look and see where people are coming from. Viewer age as well. I want to make sure that I'm hitting the right population to see if they can afford what I'm buying. My audience is right. We tend to see two things on YouTube. One is that it's this about this age is right, 25 to 34. And as soon as I click the gender, it's going to be mostly male. You see that? Male, almost 70%. And if I take a look at really quick, just to go back and show you my Facebook. If I take a look at Facebook and I take a look at the insights here, you're going to see almost the reverse. If I go to tools and I take a look at audience here, you can see men 42%, 57% women, and take a look at the age group. All of a sudden, 25 to 34 is significantly lower, and 35 to 54 and even up to 64 is higher. So this, and to me, that's important because I know the content that I'm putting out needs to match if I'm in multiple platforms. And this is the part that Jeff always says, hey, I don't pay attention to. And I'm going to stop sharing really quick. And for some of you, it's going to hold you back. For others, you need to take a look at this if you're planning to grow in certain aspects of your business. And so I don't know that we look at this enough, but if you really want to take a look at what's working and what's not a lot of you are like Jeff, which means he knows intuitively based on what he's putting out, what's working and what's not. Some of you need to take a look at the insights on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, and say, well, wait a second, where was the drop off? And are people watching the same videos as they were before? This is how we can go back to YouTube and say, got it, people really love these videos over these. And people are now finding us on Google on the search term where they weren't before because we're paying attention to titles. This becomes a business, and a lot of you aren't treating it like it because you still don't see social media like door knocking. You still don't see social media like open houses. You don't see social media like actually picking up the phone and calling expireds. We're not saying it's more important. We're just saying it now has become a real prospecting arm because that's how we treat it. So let me go back to the end of the YouTube slide, and then we will continue over to the next one. Here we go. YouTube best practices. Focus on high quality video content with your phone, please. Because a lot of people watch YouTube on TVs, on computer desktops. And even when they're watching it on their phone, they want it to have good quality. So if you have a newer iPhone, a newer Android device, great, even better, use those. Optimize video titles, descriptions, and tags for SEO. This is extremely important. In the PDF that we give out, we give some, actually at the end of this whole slide deck, we have some really good apps that you can take a picture of. This is important, but we have Morning Fame is one of them, and TubeBuddy is another one that do a pretty decent job of finding video titles. This is where I would go, Jeff, to answer the public, and I would type in certain titles that I want and see if it's being searched. I bet you get more ideas there. And then engage with your audience through the comments. Make sure that no comment goes unanswered and unloved. All right, any questions on YouTube? Let's see what we got. And then we'll move over to, we've got 15 minutes. That's perfect for X and LinkedIn and some questions. I like it. All right, so what questions do we have? What about naming your YouTube channel? Andrew, depending on what you want to focus on. If you look at Jeff, what was your Ozarks channel name?
Lake of the Ozarks Lifestyle. It's the same across every platform.
Perfect. And for me, it's my name, and it's the same across every platform.
I do think that YouTube, I mean, first of all, let me reiterate, if you don't have a stronghold on content creation on the other platforms, I honestly don't recommend going to YouTube. I think a lot of you watch videos and they're usually ads from YouTube, either YouTube experts or companies that are selling you YouTube coaching, and they're going to tell you how great YouTube is. Yeah, sure. So is TikTok for people that have done really well. It's the 1%. And so, again, coming from somebody who's living in the trenches with you all, and I don't have any, massive, I don't have any tricks up my sleeve because they don't exist. I think you need to master the art of short form first. And like I was telling Prayful over in the Q&A, is build up that library of short form content on Instagram or TikTok. Then that way you have a library. Then when you go into YouTube, now you've got content that you don't have to create new stuff, and you're just starting to post. You got stuff for every day, and then you sprinkle in one long form every single week, because you're going to find, for most of you, probably all of you, if you're going to try to manage your own YouTube channel, good luck. Long form editing is time consuming, and you're going to need to hire a VA or an editor to do that. And so that's another reason why it's really a next level strategy, which is why, and I know many of you showed up today because it's like, I want to go YouTube. I want to go YouTube. And if I go and look at you on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, I'll be like, you're not ready. Like you're trying to put cart before horse. We're all looking for get rich quick. Folks, that does not exist in anything in our business and anything in life. If it did, we'd all run to it, right? So, a commitment to patience is probably the best advice I can give anybody in business in 2024 and every other year beyond.
I like that. Jeff, is a good point, man. YouTube is not for everyone. It's probably the toughest one to grow, but when you grow it, it's the most rewarding as well. I'm going to answer Linda's question by sharing my screen because I think it'll help everyone here. Linda said, I had to take a call. Did you go over how to get people to follow you on YouTube? The wonderful thing about YouTube is that it's directly connected to everything Google owns. That means it's connected to Google. So I'm going to let's pick somebody here and take them through the next. Let's go for 10 minutes. I think it's so important, Jeff, that let's use this time for this specifically.
I would agree because Twitter we don't need to spend a lot of time on. LinkedIn,
Yeah.
I think we want to give a little attention to, but
Yeah, let's do this. Someone in the comments, we're going to pick somebody. Name an area that you work in and you want to, let's say you'd want to grow your YouTube channel. Just type in an area. Let's see. Let's pick one, dude. And we'll do this live to show you exactly what to do. Jeff, you pick one.
what am I picking them for?
You're just picking one. Just pick one. I'll do the rest.
A random person?
Yeah, just pick one of the city names that's coming through.
Oh, all right. Hold on. I got to scroll down.
There's a lot.
This is going to be fun.
This is going to be fun. I already like it.
Hold on. I'm gonna let more come in here. All right. Milwaukee.
Okay, damn it. I don't even know how to spell Milwaukee, dude. You already saw my spelling skills. They're not very good.
Milwaukee.
All right,
Milwaukee.
Thank you. Thank you. You can.
It's in Wisconsin, for those that don't know.
All right, let's go to Google. Our best friend, Milwaukee. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, look at that. Google knows.
Dude, I like Google. All right. I'm going to type in living in Milwaukee. That's the first thing I'm going to do. It's going to be a whole research.
And by the way, if we didn't choose your city, go copy this with your city.
Yeah, follow along. Pop up Google on the side. Right now, you can do it on your phone on Safari. Type in living and then your city. I'll go slow for this one. This is a live session. You're going to learn a lot from this. Living in Milwaukee. And then, you know what? I'm going to type in Wisconsin because I don't even know if there's another Milwaukee, just to be safe. Now you're going to start seeing things pop up. Great, amazing. I have Merlin on here, so you're going to ignore Merlin. You don't have that. I'm going to scroll down. And I'm going to go down to find this because this is my best friend when it comes to YouTube, if I want to do YouTube. And right here, I'm going to find now some topics that I'm going to shoot video on when it comes to my area for YouTube. Is Milwaukee good place? Is Milwaukee good place to live? Do people misspell things like me all the time? Is Milwaukee a good place to live? Oh, interesting. What are the pros and cons of Milwaukee? Is it expensive in Milwaukee? What is the average household income in Milwaukee? What I would do is I would grab this one. This might be too general of a topic, but I would grab it and then I would go over. You can go to Bard because it's free and a lot of you don't have ChatGPT. We pay for ChatGPT, so we have the expanded version. This is without this is without me telling ChatGPT anything except what I'm about to type. And usually we like to build up the type of response it's going to give by giving it the right prompts. But for time purposes, we're just going to say, I want to create a YouTube video. Let me move my little video camera there on the side. YouTube video with a strong hook and a SEO enhanced title to attract people searching on YouTube, let's go Google, to watch my video? The topic is, please expand on this and make a script. And I can say, hey, I want to make it 5 minutes, but for now, I want to see what it gives me. And now I'm going to have an idea of what video I want to create based on what it's telling me. And it's giving me an SEO enhanced title, Discover Milwaukee, Unveiling the Truths About Wisconsin's Largest City. Let's grab that as it's working, because I'm going to do two things as it's working. I'm going to go back to this page, and I'm going to copy and paste that exact title that it gave me and see what my competition is right now. This is what pops up. Discover Milwaukee. It looks like there's another YouTuber that has 8,000 views on a very similar title. And that pops up at the top. I mean, look, I don't have to scroll very far to find that video. Not a lot of competition. There's another video there. Now, if I want to go and say, well, maybe that's too wide of a topic, there are some other options here, and people also ask. But if I did want to now take a look at what other videos, I would just say, okay, what other videos are here? Unboxing Wisconsin. I would say, who the hell is this guy that has 8,000 views on this Milwaukee video? How many subscribers does he have? He's living in Milwaukee. What's my competition look like? First, since I'm using him as an example, I don't know him, but I'm going to subscribe to his channel just to be nice. I want to take a look at all the videos he's done, and I want to go to the popular videos right here. He has one 3 years ago that had 33,000 views, and he's had quite a few that have some good views. Now I have some examples. My favorite neighborhoods in Milwaukee, relocating to Milwaukee. These are all topics I could redo because it worked for him. Let's take a look at this one that's 3 years old. And now I'm going to watch his video and see what worked and what didn't. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to take a look at, I'm going to expand this section and see, okay, well, I can already tell you that he could have done a much better job on the description so that he can be found on Google a lot more, right? And he's got chapters, which is nice. I like that. Each of these chapters, though, I can already tell you, can be expanded on so they can become their own Google search terms, because nobody searches just for demographics alone, downtown. Each one of these needs to be demographics in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, et cetera, the same thing, same thing, same thing. Now, as I'm going through this, I'm like, okay, I've got some good ideas. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT to see what they've done and take a look at what we've got. It's got an opening scene, an intro, cost of living, job markets, lifestyles. Now, as I'm comparing this and I'm taking a look at my competition, what can I learn? Right? And then I'm going to go over to the right and I'm going to have also suggestions, right? From living in Milwaukee. I have 5 things no one tells you when moving to Wisconsin. This is a bigger search term now, not just Milwaukee, 76,000 views. Now I'm going to go to this one and I'm going to explore. And if I want to go deeper, I'm going to grab this. This is the type of research we do. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to go to Bard because Bard's connected to YouTube, right? And I'm going to go and take a look at and say, let me see here. It might have already given me a prompt for this. Let's see if it's giving me the prompt. Oh, there it was. Yeah, video insights. Give me video insights about, and then I'm going to go here. And then I'm copied it. Sorry. Give me video insights about the video I just posted. Organize the information in a set of easy scan bullet points. Right. I'm going to just start with that and I can expand further. But now because Bard is Google and Google is connected to YouTube, it's just going to go through YouTube, research that video for you, give you the bullet points, and now you have something that you can use as bullet points as examples of what you can build on your video. Now you have something that you can look at and say, ah, I got it. and you go back to this, you take a look at their channel. Let's go back to Living in Madison. And you can go back and say videos, popular. Now you take a look at, well, how old are these videos? 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Can we learn anything from their thumbnails in comparison to the previous person? And I'll subscribe to this person. So now you start understanding what it looks like to do research, right? And you, Hector, if you're in Los Angeles, you dwindle down into the niche, right? Remember that phrase that we had where you niche down? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
All right, questions?
Did you notice my hat change?
Oh, no, I didn't notice it. Damn it. Lake of the Ozarks. I love that.
Mm-hmm. That's just everyone's reminder to go subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's the plug. Actually, I really don't. It doesn't really matter. For those of you on this call, and that's, you know what, that's a great point. And I've seen actually some of you do this, and I'm not knocking you for doing it, but it's like, you know, you put in the comments like, these are my social channels, go follow me, because we're chasing vanity, and it doesn't matter. Again, like the money that I make at the Lake of the Ozarks is based on brand deals, being a media company for Lake of the Ozarks companies, and selling real estate. None of you in this thread probably are going to put $1 in my wallet. You might buy me a drink if you meet me sometime, but that's it. And so it's like, if you all go follow it and subscribe, great, thank you. But you know, that's vanity. It doesn't mean anything to me. I am focused on the right followers, which is why I don't ever intend on being Mr. Beast. I'm not going to be. I own about between 50 and 100 hats, Campbell. Too many, actually.
Damn, bro, that's a lot.
Yeah, I know. A lot of them they're given to me. It's a brand. It's a brand. You know, I mean, you guys know this. I just sitting next to me, boom, 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 boom. And then there's a wall of them, and then there's a bunch over there. Yeah.
I like that.
Sorry.
That's good, man.
A hat organizer. Yeah.
I need to go switch hats.
I built my own, Bill. I built my own hat organizer, but there's not enough wall space.
All right, let's go to any questions on YouTube? Going once, twice, 3 times?
You know what I think, actually, and I mentioned this to somebody. I think it was Prayful asked for a more in-depth look at YouTube, and I said, you know, I think what we'll do is we'll dedicate some of our upcoming calls, some of them to YouTube. So for those of you that joined Drunk on Social, Social Genius, that's what we do. I know there's been questions about what do you get in the coaching. Our platform is designed to be affordable at $99 a month. But you also get what you pay for. You're not getting editing services. You're not getting this, you know, advanced. What you're getting is a community. You're getting a family that is talking about this stuff every single month. And then on each call, we go deep on topics and we talk about specific things. We are actually dedicating one call every single month to be a content strategy call. So every single month, we're going to be working together to come up with ideas for the next month. And all of you can walk away from those calls and take those ideas and run with them. And a very, very useful stuff for those of you that, you know, that's what you need.
Did you see what the team said?
No.
20 minutes should be allotted to Jeff's rants.
Oh, yeah.
That was really good. That's it, guys. We're adding an extra 20 minutes to this session. I'm joking.
No, my blood pressure can't take anymore.
That's so good. LinkedIn. This is the ugly stepchild. At least that's what we call it. I suck at LinkedIn, even though I have thousands of followers. I think that happened because of lab coats, not because of any effort that I put into it. But I can tell you what works because we still use LinkedIn. We use it a lot. We use it daily. And there are a lot of surprises when it comes to LinkedIn. Here's what I want you to remember when it comes to LinkedIn. Because it's a professional network, you've got to speak to inspire, and you've got to know the audience too. Who is that audience that you're targeting? Most of them are professional. They're there to connect with other professionals. And I don't know about you, but most professionals aren't there to impress others. It's more about to inspire them and show them how they can also do what they're doing or grow. The fact is, LinkedIn grew through the pandemic, and a lot of people don't realize that. But LinkedIn, you already know that it's the largest professional social networking platform. And if you take a look at their growth, it's significantly grown, more so than people would think. Here are 5 reasons to have a LinkedIn profile. I mean, I'm going to stop really quick and I'm going to pick somebody again randomly. Okay. Let's stop the share. I want you to just type in me and I'm going to pick you. I need your name if it's not showing.
Ooh,
I'm gonna, you know what, Jeff? You pick one. Pick one. I'm gonna go to Google and you tell me.
Get Dell. That was the first one I saw.
Dell. What's the full name?
Oh shit! Now I gotta scroll up. Schaefer, maybe, is that right? Yeah, Schaefer.
Dell Schaefer. Got you.
Schaefer. Yep.
All right, let's go to Google and then I'll share my screen when I get to Google. All right, let's go.
And I will, by the way, tell you, and anybody who, there's a bunch of people that are on this call that are already social geniusers, you know, you will get, I mean, these are very interactive calls. So it's as interactive as you want it to be. Some people just sit back and listen and some are like very active. So if like today you don't, you know, there's so many of you, it's really hard to show attention, but you definitely get more attention on the calls just because, you know, there's usually like what, Tristan? We have like 200 people in our coaching platform and, you know, 20 to 50 show up consistently. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'd say we get about 50 most of the time, consistently. I'm going to type in Dell Schaefer on its own. Okay, Dell, I know you're on here. And I'm going to see what pops up. I want you to take a look at the first few on here. And it's going to be like this for most of you. You've got your website for real estate, which is important. That's where I would typically go to if I'm doing research on you. You're active on, I think this is you. Yeah, you're active on X, which is great, right, which is the next platform we're going to talk about. And then the very next one is LinkedIn. And that's how it's going to be for most of you. Top 3, top 4 is going to be LinkedIn. If you're a LinkedIner, it means if you've got an account on LinkedIn. The one thing that I do see people unfortunately miss an opportunity on is a lack of information when it comes to the profile. Like, I don't know what your phone number is. And LinkedIn for a lot of you is going to be number 1. Even though you never use it, it's going to be number 1 or number 2. Then as you scroll down, you're going to see other things. Dell looks like you posted X and maybe on YouTube, LinkedIn. Then you have the rest of them, Realtor.com, Facebook.
Is that you, Dell? On the images?
Right, Dell?
Well, look, yeah, definitely. But I'm just curious, is that him? It's always fun to put a face to a name.
Oh, yeah. Is this you, buddy? Is he?
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, he said yes.
Cool.
All right, cool.
I would have guessed, and I'm just going to just randomly throw this out there. Dell, I would have guessed you to be like older. So I don't know why.
Yeah, dude, you look pretty young, man.
Yeah, I'd guess you're probably 38.
And I want you to remember, this is what the consumer is doing.
Oh, 45, man, you're doing well. Good job.
Hey, you're doing pretty good, buddy. Oh, you almost got 77. Like, definitely. You're not 77. You're not 77. All right, Dell, this is what most people miss when they go to LinkedIn, and I want you to do this. So if we go to the profile right here, I have my phone number and I have other information there that I want you to have. The opportunities that you have here is that people are going to be looking for your information on LinkedIn because it pops up at the top. And a lot of the times it's going to come down to that phone number that you put there. So if you have a profile, make sure you put your phone number on there. And there are other things we'll go on here as well, like posts. We have a newsletter. If you've got a newsletter, make sure that you take a look at the feature for LinkedIn as the newsletter. We've got almost 45, a little over 4,500 subscribers just to our newsletter, which is kind of crazy. And let me go back to our slide so I can go back to the important things.
Yeah, somebody brought up a good point too. It's like, you know, how many things can you afford to buy? And I mean, it's a great point. And that's where you just got to decide what is, you know, what's most important for you. And I do want to comment before we go down this list on LinkedIn. It's not my favorite platform because I really enjoy entertainment and social networking. And to me, LinkedIn's too stuffy. I do use it. But here's what I will tell you. I've had a lot of success and created a lot of conversations. I do have Sales Navigator, which is, I think, $99 a month. And that allows me to run targeted messaging on the back end. And here's the other piece. To me, LinkedIn is very antiquated, and the people that are using it at a high level suck at it. And they're sending the same generic crappy messages. What I've found, I'll shoot like a bomb video, make it seem very personal, and then run a targeted ad or run a targeted message. It's not an ad, targeted message to people's inboxes, and they think that I sent them to that. They think I sent that to them personally, and it creates conversation. So if you really love LinkedIn and you want to focus on LinkedIn, you're going to need to get Sales Navigator. You might even want to hire our friends over at MyLink Solutions. That's what I did because I didn't have the time to dig deep into the weeds, but I got really good engagement when I was running targeted messages there. So there is some power there. It's not my favorite platform, but if for those that do love it, it's useful.
Yeah, and I'll show you guys Sales Navigator too. Here again, we have this. We did this for all of the platform. So we also did it for X. So what I want you to do is take a picture of this one too. Video is very powerful on LinkedIn, and live video, believe it or not, performs extremely well on LinkedIn. That's something that I was very surprised with. I'm still surprised every time. I'm like, oh, it's not going to work this time. It's not going to work. And it outperforms every social outlet that I use to do lives with. It outperforms all of them. So lives do extremely well. Remember, you're doing a live for a professional group of people. And the other part that people forget about LinkedIn is that there are groups in LinkedIn communities that are massive, hundreds of thousands, millions of people in some groups. That's the only other outlet that handles groups like Facebook. And we forget that piece. I don't know about you, Jeff, but I always forget about groups in LinkedIn.
Somebody just noticed that we're live on LinkedIn. I guess.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there you go. We're live on LinkedIn. We're live on Facebook too. And I think we're live on YouTube. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're better off doing these things like how you guys are in Zoom, because that's where we're most active. But yes, we are live on those platforms because, hey, we practice what we preach.
Yeah. Plus, we don't see the comments on there, but I'm sure.
And by the way, we've got an incredible team behind the scenes, and some rather good-looking people behind the scenes too that we can't get in front of the camera. I keep trying to get Monch to show his face more.
We'll get it. We should bring some of them on into the group coaching. Message people with value. Please don't spam.
Hey, you know what? Can I just stop that right there? That's a great idea, because we've had several questions about how to hire VAs. And honestly, that's where, Monch, you could bring a lot of value to a meeting, is like, what is the best way to look for VA? What best place to find them? And then what questions should be asking? Because Monch is one of the leaders behind the scenes, and he does a lot of the vetting for hiring and firing and all that kind of stuff. So
that actually could be a whole session that we do.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Let's do that. Monch, we're bringing you in, buddy. You're going to teach us.
Sorry, buddy.
There you go.
Sorry, not sorry.
Pictures and graphics still work here. So written works extremely well. This is the reason that I have 4,500 followers just on the newsletter alone. So if you tend to gravitate to writing more and putting pictures and less video, LinkedIn may be the platform for you. Message people. When you're messaging people, you have the ability here. I'm going to just go on mine. You have the ability to reverse prospect people here. And I don't want you spamming them, because the number one message I get when it comes to LinkedIn is, do you want to join my brokerage? Or do you want to buy this because I'm selling this or that? And let me go here. Perfect. So I'm going to go to the top, where I'm going to shrink that. Over on the top right, you see Sales Navigator, right? This is what Jeff was talking about. Sales Navigator is owned by LinkedIn. It's a paid feature. but if I click it, it allows you now to be able to filter out certain things. We're going to go through it with you live. You see here, it says lead filters and account filters. So let's say I would go to lead filters. Now, if I wanted to reverse prospect a certain amount of people in an area that work wherever they work. So current company, for me, I know that the largest pharmaceutical in the world is here where I'm at. So I could do that, or I could do the Rams organization. What are the Rams organizations? What are they? The Rams? Are they? What would they be, dude? Do you know? Oh, let's not do that.
I only know the football team.
Yeah, let's do Amgen. Let's do Amgen. Now I've got Amgen. I've got, if I scroll up, I can go to and I say, hey, are there more biotech people here besides Amgen? Let's see. I got Amgen. I'm gonna do
Yeah,
this.
and I think what the bigger point here is targeting on LinkedIn. You can target, like, I'll tell you two things I've seen, Tristan, is not only employees of companies, but you can target like graduates of a university. So if you live in a town that has a big university or just any university, that you can run targeted like ads or targeted messages to them saying that, I mean, you can get as basic as you get a free appraisal because you're an alum of blah, blah, blah. I've connected with people, Tristan, who took the time to send me a LinkedIn message saying, hey, I see you're a Webster University grad. And I'm like, huh, like, you took just a moment of time to go find that about me. Now I'm going to respond to you. It meant something to me.
Dude, that matters a lot. This is the powerful thing about LinkedIn that nobody uses. I just typed in Amgen. You could have typed in, like Jeff said, a school. And I went to executive, current job. There's only 11. That's how narrowed down you can get. And these are all people that I can target and say, hey, I've got a special promo for you. Or if I want to go here and say, hey, let's target all of the police officers, all of the fire department, or all the nurses in the area. And then let's run a promo and reverse prospect or message them one-on-one and say, hey, I'm running a special this year for all nurses or for all police officers, whatever that is. You can do that. That's the power of LinkedIn on the back end when you add Sales Navigator. But if we go back to where we were on these top 6 things, here they are. What's working here? Best practices. Share your industry insights and professional content. I would say if there's any place, any social media place where you want to brag a little bit and showcase what you've sold, what you have on the market, things like that, going to be LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the place you want to do that more and engage with your network through comments and messages, no different than anywhere else. This works really well on LinkedIn though. And then LinkedIn articles for longer informative posts. These get shared probably the most. So if you have knowledge of whatever industry you're in and you want to go deeper and give me that information as the user or audience on LinkedIn, this is where you're going to showcase that. This is where you're going to tell me how interest rates affect my market, what's happening in my specific market with this chart. This is where people actually care, right? That's key. Jeff, you don't have a John Deere hat. That's crazy.
Hey, somebody asked how are we live on so many platforms at the same time? Which platform are we using?
Hold on. I'm going to change out my hat for a Daffy hat. Okay, now I can answer that. We've got Restream. So let me show you really quick how Restream works.
Restream, or what's the other platform with the duck? What's that called?
That one's not as good. That one's called shoot, a little duck.
StreamYard. Thank you, Beth. Yeah. StreamYard's good, and StreamYard's cool because you can really interact with people and you can display their comments. I have a buddy who's a tractor puller and he uses StreamYard and he loves it. But he's not in Zoom. So he's living in the lives. So that's the difference.
Yeah.
And by the way, Restream only works with a Mac.
I'm going to show you. No, that's Ecamm Live.
Oh, Ecamm. Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Restream works with, let me show you the back end of Restream. Here's where it can go live. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Telegram. It can go live anywhere. And now It's just going to need special, you're going to need a special stream code to go into Instagram and TikTok. But outside of these, everything else is super easy. And that's restream.io. There you go. Some side note information for you.
Good. I've got a funny story about the hats, by the way. The way that started was because I was going to the dermatologist and they said, because you are follically challenged, you are going to get skin cancer, so you better start wearing hats. And I wasn't a big hat wearer back then, and I started wearing hats, and then I started wearing branded hats, and then this was about the time I was doing video on social, and I was boring myself with mortgage and real estate content, and I was like, man, but how am I going to brand myself if I don't talk about it? And that's where it just dawned on me, and I'm like, you know what? I don't ever have to talk about my business. I'll just wear it. Which will subtly remind people. And yeah, that's where it went. That's the reason for the hats. It's actually not branding. It's just to get less skin cancer.
Dude, that's pretty crazy. You should actually tell that story.
Yeah. If through a video. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, that'd be a great idea. And let's end this session with LinkedIn by taking a look at Dell's LinkedIn so we can see what we can modify and fix.
Bill, do you use Just for Men? Come on, man. Be honest with me now. How's that beard so black?
Look at this.
Where's your gray hair at, man? You must not have kids or a spouse. No offense.
I don't think he always had the beard. Look.
Hopefully my wife's not watching.
Dell didn't always have the beard.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, he looks really young in that picture.
Yeah, man.
Man,
good genes. All right, Del. What I want you to do here is here you're going to edit and you're going to put in your phone number. And the hashtags here don't really matter. So you can just remove those and just tell me a little bit more about you, like what you like. Treat it very similarly to what we were doing on Instagram, but just put your phone number first so it can populate when people are searching for you. Because a lot of the times when people are searching for you online, they want a contact info and they can't find you there. So I like that. And let me see what else you've got. Let's see the posts that you've done. Let's go to this last post. You get pretty decent engagement on here, man. That's pretty good. The only thing is I don't think you've posted in the last 2 months. I think this might have been your last post. So what I would suggest is you definitely post a lot more on LinkedIn. You seem to get pretty decent engagement here, and I'll follow you there. Let me
Tristan, are you using your actual phone number on LinkedIn, or are you using some secret?
Well, I don't. I use the community phone number, but it still dials me up. But you can put your phone number on there.
I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, I have my phone number listed on my socials and I don't get spammed. I mean, it's kind of like the age-old question, should I have a public or private account? And my answer is always like, if you're going to be private, there's no reason to use social for your business because, the whole point is to be more visible. And if you have a private account, you're not going to be visible. So why be afraid to have your cell phone on there and be able to be contacted by a potential customer,
Yeah, true. I agree. And then I'm not sure what the picture above is telling me, Del. I would reconsider the picture unless you really love that picture. I would tell more along the lines of the story that you're trying to tell with your social profile when it comes to LinkedIn. I'm choosing, let's see, this is the mayor, and I'm not sure what the hell that is. So it looks like it's just a nice picture. It looks like that's how they all are. Interesting. I would take a look to see what I could add on the back end that doesn't have that picture that tells a little bit more of a story.
Oh, go to mine, Tristan. Go show them mine because I was going to bring that up, and this applies to Facebook and everywhere, and I would say more especially to LinkedIn because here's the deal, and I just said this on my threads the other day. If you're not willing to be different, you're going to blend in. And so, I need to change that because I'm pretty much removed from mortgage anymore. But like, I wanted my cover photo, and I use this, I didn't show you this on Facebook, but I want my cover photo to be kind of a quick, at a glance, like kind of describe who you are. and what you are as a brand and who you are. It's not, I don't have a good one on Facebook. It's just an avatar.
Oh, it's cute. I like it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you go to, I can show you some examples if you give me screen sharing. But the bigger point is like everything's going more authentic, and we as a community, as a real estate community, we're so guilty of using glamour shots from 10 or 15 years ago. And I mean, if you're not a suit wearer, why are you wearing a suit in your profile picture? Like, if you wear hats and t-shirts like I do, like, be you. Stop being afraid of being you, and be more authentic. Now, if you are a suit wearer, then wear suits in your photos. That's fine. But I think that's one of the things that we're so guilty of. I'm going to show you an example of some good cover photos. That's a good cover photo. And you can see the same guy I showed you on Instagram. He carried it over to Facebook. And then you know what he did? He said, I'm going to make my cover photo a depiction of what describes me as a human being. It's personal. And if I stumble upon Eric on Facebook and I see this, like, I'm drawn to this. If you have a business card as your cover photo on Facebook or even LinkedIn, I mean, LinkedIn, I guess you can get away with it because it is a businessy platform, but on Facebook, man, what a turnoff. Make it authentic, make it real, make it you. We did this for Melanda, same concept. There's her Vizsla dog. I mean, make these profiles, like, make them more authentic, make them more you. Give people a reason to want to follow you. And I would say, honestly, the same thing applies to LinkedIn. And for those of you wondering, the size, the dimensions of these photos on each platform is different. And you can just Google it. You can Google LinkedIn picture dimensions for a cover photo. You probably need to go to Fiverr, or actually you can go to Canva, Tristan. Canva has the proper dimensions for each thing if you want to do it yourself, or just hire somebody on Fiverr, or go find yourself a graphic artist VA. There's plenty of them out there. That's who does all the stuff that you see from me. So, there's a lot of options out there.
Very true. Very true. All right. Canva works amazing. Look, we've done a whole session on tech. The last slide that we're going to show you, or close to the last slide after we go through X, is one that you want to take a snapshot of all the tech we recommend. But any questions on LinkedIn before we move on to X? We've got 15 minutes left, so we're going to speed through X, which sucks because I think it's probably the second biggest opportunity in social. All right, questions? Going once, twice.
I have to go to the bathroom.
You got 15 minutes, so wait. Hold it. We're almost there. Del, thanks for participating in the last one. Post natively to LinkedIn. Yes, you can do both. You can use a company like Buffer or Sprout, or you can post natively. I still think natively is working well there, but it doesn't make that big of a difference. Good. All right, here we go. Too authentic, Jeff. Too authentic.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's what you get with me. Sorry.
All right. To X or not? Jeff, are you going to be Xing or not Xing this year?
I already X. Am I going to be making it a focal point? No, not yet. But
not yet.
But I'm shifting, and I'll explain why, unless you do it before I do.
Okay. I am definitely going to be more purposeful. In fact, the last 2 months I've been testing it out a lot more, and we're doing pretty well. Here's what you have to remember when it comes to
can I say this first, Tristan? We covered a lot of platforms today, and I think it's very important to know that depending on where you're at in this journey, ultimately, if you're asking our advice, which platform should I focus on? Because I don't have time for all 6. Instagram and Facebook, because they talk to each other, period, end of story. If you're already comfortable somewhere else, that's okay. If you want to make TikTok your cornerstone, fine, do it. I encourage that. If you want to make LinkedIn your cornerstone, fine, do it. That's fine. Just don't become overwhelmed, but listen to what we're saying, because as we talk about X, we study this stuff, we research this stuff. And what we're about to tell you is that we believe X is going to be the future dominating platform of social. Does that mean 2024? Probably not. But 25, 26, 30, I don't know. But I do believe that, Elon's onto something, whether you like him or not.
Here's why. Thank you for bringing that up. I actually forgot about that. Here's why. When you look at the success YouTube has had over the last 15, 16 years as they grew, they focused more on the influencer. They rewarded them a lot for being there, for showing up, for creating organic content. And what X is doing is they're slowly, gradually, faster than you think, are going towards that route as well. And that means that let's say I'm a normal human being, and I'm like, wow, you know what? I want to post more there because I keep on seeing all of these amazing people post there. Well, they're posting there because they're getting paid. Because if their content performs well, they're going to be able to make a living. And you only see that mainly on YouTube right now. So what you're going to see is a shift for some of that to start coming from X, which means a lot of the original content is going to be coming out of X because they're being rewarded so highly. So you have to think long-term. Jeff's right. Longer term, that's what we see. And yeah, unfortunately, it's very political. But as more and more influencers start going there, hopefully we start seeing less of that and more of the creative side.
Yeah, because it is going to start going heavier on video, and it's going to be it's going to allow long form video. So you're going to start to see YouTube style content over on X, which is it's going to be interesting. Go back to your original question, Tristan, and just for anybody who wants my opinion, you can leave the slides up. I'm going to end up shifting Lake of the Ozarks Lifestyles over to X. Why not? All the content already exists. So I'm just going to repurpose it over there because I do believe that Elon, I know that I've read and watched interviews, and Elon says like he doesn't give a crap how many followers you have. What he cares about is the people that are giving an effort, which is not necessarily what all the platforms do. So Elon has a little bit different approach. So again, like or dislike, it doesn't really matter. I do believe that Elon is brilliant. Again, good or bad doesn't matter. And so I believe that he's onto something, and I'm going to test it. What's the harm? And so this is part of the reason why it's like I'm going to focus on YouTube, but then I'm just going to multiply my efforts over to X. And so just, as you think ahead, Tristan, how are you going to use X?
I'm going to use X more along the lines of building communities. So taking the experience that I have in building out lab codes and a few other communities, and then showcasing that in the form of saying, hey, if you want to build communities, this is at the core, right? And then also books, because I read a shit ton, right? Which you're already seeing some things that I'm testing out on X if you're following me there.
By the way, Del, no, Tristan has a Tesla. Jeff doesn't have a Tesla yet. And also, funny story. My commute to the Lake of the Ozarks, which I go at least once a month during the summer all the time, is a 3-hour commute. I'm buying a Tesla so I can multitask and edit videos and post while my car drives itself. That's why I'm going to buy a Tesla in the next few months. Purely business. I actually own a Jeep. I'm a Jeep Wrangler, Del.
No way, dude. I didn't know that.
I'm a simple dude, man. Yeah.
Not me. I can't handle simple. I need to complicate it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have the two opposite ends of the spectrum. A Jeep Wrangler, which is the most uncomfortable ride on the planet, and then a Tesla, which is one of the most comfortable rides on the planet.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Visuals invite, words engage. Remember that when it comes to Twitter. This is extremely, extremely important. And hooks, written hooks. We did a whole hour, I believe it was an hour dive into one influencer, how they grew their X account in less than 8 months from 0 to millions. And that was one of the sessions that we did 2 months ago. And that was a powerful one. X obviously used to be Twitter. It's now called X. Download it if you haven't. Take a picture of this. These are the things that are working and that are trends to watch for 2024. Jeff and I both believe that it's going to take time for X to grow into its next phase, but we really strongly believe that that next phase is going to be towards the top, if not the top, of all social. Number one, written pictures work best. They still do. You can take a look at all the millions of activity that happens. On this, Jeff, you mentioned something that Twitter does well. X does really well. And that is that you can have 0 followers on X and still gain a lot of views on posts that are valuable. And I remember TikTok used to do that really, really, really well. Do you find that TikTok still does that or as well or no?
What? Say that again.
The content can go viral without you having following.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why TikTok creates opportunity. 100%. Yeah.
All right. We find the same thing on X. And by the way,
I think with X too, I mean, again, remember what I said is that, you got to be willing to test and try things and be willing to be a trendsetter. And nobody on X that I know of is building community-based content. So I just feel like, well, hell, let's try it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Nothing. Right. And so it's like, and the best thing that happens is that I get rewarded because not Elon, but his algorithm is like, hey, I love what this person's doing. They're helping us shape and shift X. Let's reward him. And maybe I'll go viral. I don't know. I mean, damn it. I put that off, but I guess I need to stop putting it off.
Yeah, you really need to, man. Shorts and long video are working really well now. The video experience isn't as great on X, but it's going to get better. Shorts aren't that great. Long videos okay to watch. There's some glitches, but it's growing. Ads work really well. And I think it's because there's a lack of marketers now. When everyone is leaving, that means you have a bigger opportunity that we have tested well. And let me tell you, the response has been great on X. The ads outperform everywhere else that we're running ads, which is crazy to think. But yeah, ads work really well. Communities. This is the third place that I would say has communities. A lot of people don't even know it has communities, but it's Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, and X communities. That's something that nobody's paying attention to that I think will grab a hold, because one thing about X that is very apparent is that it's a place that's very opinionated. And those opinions come with hardcore followers. So communities work. Spaces. I think some of you, if you're on X, you've seen spaces where people go and it feels like it's Clubhouse. You remember Clubhouse, Jeff? You remember Clubhouse?
I remember it well.
Yeah, Clubhouse. That's what spaces are. Spaces is a place where you can go in and then have a discussion, a live discussion. And Spaces it performs pretty well.
Talk about a time suck.
Yeah, it is. And they know that. So that's why it works so well. It gives you other options. It's not just a Clubhouse feature, right? It's Spaces. And then lastly, believe it or not, you can build your whole following on pure reposting. That's the cool thing about X that I don't think is apparent anywhere else, maybe except for Instagram, where you can just share other posts like memes and things like that. I think here you can grow a whole presence on purely reposting other content because they make it so easy. Best practices: participate in relevant trends. You'll see the trends. A lot of those are sharing valuable content. I think it's too early to really tell what trends are taking off on X, except being on there and watching what's happening. Keep tweets concise. That's true, but also use the thread feature. And I think if you're not on X, you don't know what the thread features are. In fact, threads from Instagram, that's where they got their name, right?
I like threads.
They got it from the threads on X, which means you can follow along. It's like a whole bunch of posts put together. It's a story. And so that works really well when you have a strong hook. I'll give you an example. If you're going to use this for real estate, it would be, these are the top 5 places to move to when it comes to Los Angeles.
Can you put that back up, Tristan, while you're talking?
Yeah, let me go back.
And by the way, once we're wrapped up here for a second, I do have an ask of those of you that are left. So hang tight for a second. It's a simple ask, and it'll also benefit you.
Perfect. Use a hook. Here's what we mean by a hook. When we're looking at X, you're going to find that the way to bring in people to listen in, to read, to engage with your posts is if you have something written that tells them there's more coming. And so when it comes to real estate, if you say these are the top 5 places to move to Los Angeles, that would be the top post, and it'd have a picture of maybe LA or wherever you're going to talk about. That would be post number 1. And then another piece to this is the thread piece. And then you'd have number one, whatever number one would be. It'd be like Calabasas with a picture and information and a hashtag. And then another complete thread would be whatever's next. It could be Westlake Village and then Pacific Palisades. Now you have a total of whatever. The point is, you bring people along for the storytelling aspect of this through the threads, but you have to hook them first. And that's what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to X, the simplicity of storytelling and bringing people through a journey on a single post. That's powerful, man. Here are the recommended video tools. Take a picture of this, please. And as soon as we finish this, Jeff, you can ask people to ask them whatever you're going to ask them or bring them on whatever journey. Take a picture of this. Viva Video, you can edit apps. You can edit videos. CapCut, that's one of our favorite ones.
I recommend CapCut for those of you that don't have an editing app.
Yeah, Splice, same thing. Adobe Photoshop, great way to use AI and fix your pictures. Same thing with Canva. Syllabi gives you an outline of things that you want to talk about when it comes to one topic on social. So very, very similar to Answer the Public, but you use AI to build it out a lot more. It's very clean syllabi. And also Austin built that out. So you'll give some love there. Descript is really good for videos as well. I know there's a few people who use Descript, and it makes it easy for you to edit videos because it takes out the ums easily and it crops the video instantly. So you can literally read and you're like, oh, I didn't mean to say that word. You can delete that word and it edits the video for you. Very powerful. Loom is a great way to showcase whatever you're showing on your screen. You can talk with it and it'll show your little camera and then it'll show whatever's on screen. Spark Camera, TubeBuddy, Morning Fame, some research apps for YouTube. BombBomb, you all know BombBomb, create video, share it with people. BigView, Prompt Smart Pro, those two right there are teleprompters. So if you want to be told what to say based on what you're typing in, there you go. Use those. ChatGPT, I mean, we use it daily. You need it. And Lumen 5. Take a picture of it. And then that's a little bit about us. You probably already know. Do us a favor. Scan that. Join. We've got 300 people left on this that made it through 3 hours.
Yeah. So I got a question for you.
Shoot.
Oh, but no, you do that first.
Well, we had 500 people on watching live. We have about 60% of you left. I can't count, so I'm assuming it's 60. But I expect the majority of you to jump on and take advantage of it.
Actually, I see people dropping off. Don't drop off. Actually, let's go back to this, but I want to do something real quick. So take the screen off.
Go.
Get your cameras out for the 290 of you that are left. Get your cameras out, right? Get your camera on your phone. And I want you to take a picture. So Tristan, let's give a
oh, not me. Oh, them.
No, you
Okay.
and me. Of you and me, right? So take a picture of us. There's a favor that you can do for us. It's also going to help you. Take this picture of us and post it to your story and say whatever you want to say. Look at these jackasses. Or what a great webinar, or I can't wait to sign up for social, whatever you want to say. It doesn't matter. That's a favor you can do to us, which is a favor to yourself because it's a post today. And now you can go back to the other slide. Actually,
Well, tag us.
Did you
Hold
get
on.
the pictures?
No, we didn't get the picture, damn it. Tag us. Here we go. I can't do the thumbs up because then it'll explode things. See?
Oh, that's cool, actually. How do you got to do that?
Put thumbs up. It might do it for you.
I love it. I love it.
All right. Did we get the picture?
Listen, and join the damn social genius. I mean, you can't do this once a year and think you're gonna do good at social. I mean, listen. The only thing I can say is there's a lot of social coaches out there. There are some great ones, and there's many frauds. The one thing I would look for, if you don't want to work with us, but you do want a coach, find somebody that can prove to you that they are doing the things that they're preaching to you, can prove to you that they know how to push the buttons, that are getting in front of the camera, that have the strategies working, because you can't learn from you can learn better from people that are living it than someone who's just regurgitating what someone else said. And that's the best advice I can give for any of you. And for those of you that want to take it to another level, we can advise you on that too. So start here. And then when you get to that level where you need to hire a VA team because you're crushing it, we're going to help you. But you got to get in here first. We can even help you find VAs. But we're not just going to do that for everybody. We got to focus our efforts on the people that want to put in the time, and you know what, want to invest in their business. And we're not asking you to invest a lot. So join us.
Scan it, join us, and this is the last time we're going to do it at $99. We're going to up our price.
Yeah, $199.
Yeah, and we're going to up our price permanently too. So you will not see the $99 price again, because we're also adding some other features. So there you go, scan it. We'll see you on the other end. And then you'll also get an email, everyone. Let me stop sharing. You'll also get an email. You'll have the workbook in there. And I think we're also going to do the recording, and also
it's on YouTube too.
If you need the slides, we'll be sending those out as well. All right, so do me a favor. Those that are left, and then we'll let you go. We're at 3 hours and 4 minutes. Do us a favor.
I've got to pee. And I've got to pee.
I've got to pee too, dude. Chill. I got to pee. Okay. Let us know if you are part of Social Genius, Drunk on Social, if you're paying as an actual member, or let us know if you joined right now. So go ahead and let us know. Member, yes, member, just so that we know who to love more. There you go. Joining. Who's joining? How's this? Who's joining today? Because this thing ends today.
Oh, it ends today. Shoot, man.
Yeah, it's only one day, man. That's it. Only one day. And we might narrow it down to however long it takes you to go to the bathroom. So
yeah, well, I responded to somebody and said it depends how many join, because we can't, we do try to keep it, we're not trying to have thousands of people. We got to keep it somewhat intimate so we can provide the service that we stand by. So.
Trying to get the code for it to work. Genius 99. Is that the code, guys? Genius 99. I don't even remember.
I thought so. Yeah.
Genius. If we spelled it right, yes, Genius 99. If you left the spelling up to me, you might be screwed. I don't know. That's the code. There you go.
Genius 9. No, you just did 9. Genius 9. Oh,
yeah,
is it only 9?
Hold on, Damon. I don't know what I did.
I think that's a typo by someone.
Genius 99. There it is.
You go. There you go.
Thank you, Rachel. All right, guys. Any questions, comments, concerns?
And hey, don't forget, we're available. I mean, you can always shoot us a DM. And if you join Social Genius, you're going to get access to us perpetually. But, if you have a question for us offline, just send us a DM. The deadline is tonight at midnight.
Yeah, midnight Pacific, Central, Eastern. We have no idea.
Philippines time. It's already passed. Sorry.
All right, Jeff. Thanks for being on, bud. I love your hat, and everyone else. Thanks for joining us.